Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gaming Lounge Podcast, episode 101. Once again, I'm your host, Sebastian, and as always, I'm joined by Dory. How you doing, Dory?
I'm great because today we have a world premiere. That's right. It's episode 101. Now, you could say, Dory, aren't all new episodes technically world premieres? Yes, but we haven't called them world premieres before. So that's how you know this one's really important. As you can see, we are in full gaming mode. We're going to talk about the Summer Game Fest and State of Play. So lots of S's going on here. Um, and I thought that State of Play was really great or great, and Summer Games Fest was all right, was good. But we'll get into that. We'll pretty much talk about all the big stuff and any personal highlights for us, which there definitely were. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward episode. Tomorrow we'll be coming at you with the Xbox showcase and Future Game Show. So looking forward to that. I haven't seen Future Game Show yet. I'll be watching that later tonight.
All right, so let's start with the State of Play, which we both found to be good to great, right? So the very first one is Wolverine, of course, Marvel's Wolverine, which is made by Insomniac. We knew about it already. It's coming out September 15th, but we actually got to see full gameplay for a good 7.5 minutes, and it looked really good. Uh, what jumped out? What jumped out to you about it? Like about the game?
I think some of the blood from the showcase got on my shirt. There was so much. Well, I remember I was starting to watch it. I was walking home, and I was catching up with State of Play, and I like if you were like walking behind me or walking in front of me, you would just hear me say, "Oh my god, holy shit!" I feel like I haven't seen a mainstream AAA game this bloody in a while. I mean, I've definitely seen bloody games like this before, but I feel like this is the first like super cinematic, really bloody game that PlayStation has done. I was like, not like horrified or offended, but just really taken aback by like how like gory this is. Um, Wolverine's putting his claws right through people's faces, and blood's just going everywhere. Of course, people were making fun of the fact that the suit can repair itself, but I mean, it's video games, and I think literally Logan has gotten a self-repairing suit before in the comics, so if they wanted to, they could justify it. But anyway, yeah, it looked awesome. I mean, I thought it was incredible. It's not a particularly original genre at this point. It's a third-person prestige PlayStation title with, melee focused combat and big huge cinematics and set pieces and done by Insomniac. It's not exactly treading new ground besides maybe how gory it is, excuse me. But I thought it looked tremendous. I mean, it's not particularly original genre wise, but I don't think it's setting any new precedents, at least not from what we saw, right? But I don't really think it has to. I think it looked super incredible. I'm day zero as far as I'm concerned. This is I've already said this a couple times, so I'll only say this real quick. But I mean, this is more or less the reason I have a PS5 at this point. Is because of this game, or why I kept a PS5. At this point, I'm going to be keeping my PS5 because they're moving away from sharing with PC. But yeah, this was the big reason I didn't get rid of my PS5. So it just looks amazing. The graphics look incredible. I'm not. I wasn't exactly sold on Logan's voice, which is funny because it's an Australian doing the voice. So I feel like I should like be okay like I don't know, just like it. But I don't know, he just sounded weird to me. Maybe I'm just so used to like Stephen Bloom's voice or the voice from X-Men 97. It was just I don't know, it wasn't bad. It sounded weird to me.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to get used to. I mean, this trailer didn't show any like story beats really. We just know that
Yeah.
he's rescuing a bunch of mutants. It's mostly gameplay focused, and it's about what you expect from a PlayStation first party game. Third person action adventure game. From Insomniac. It's like Spider Man, but way more violent. Obviously, I think the gameplay looked great. The graphics look really good. It looks like a quality exclusive for sure. There's some things that I'm a little iffy on with the storyline that I've heard, not even from the trailer, but like from like afterwards when they did like an interview and things like that. There's no X-Men in this universe. They haven't formed yet. In this universe, all the mutants are just being hunted constantly, so there is no X-Men. And it's that I have a little mixed feelings about that. Um,
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about Jean Grey's design. I didn't like her
I
jacket.
really thought that was Psylocke for a split second.
Yeah,
I like kept squinting. I was like, I think that's Jean, but I wasn't sure. And then he called her Red, and I was like, oh yeah, that is Jean. But yeah, it
yeah,
was weird.
yeah. I wasn't crazy about that design, but my biggest problems are more minor stuff. I think
Yeah,
really what it comes down to, even if the story isn't great, the gameplay looks so much fun that I'll just have a blast just being Wolverine and killing people and having fun with the
for
gameplay.
sure. Yeah,
So
you
that
really haven't been able to play Wolverine in any super fun sense since
X
what
Men
the X-Men
Origin,
Origins game.
yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
game was
I
really
think
underrated.
I think you can fight Wolverine in the Ultimate Spider-Man PS2 game, right? But you can't play as him, but you can play as Venom and fight Wolverine, which is pretty fucking cool. Um, yeah, I agree. It's story stuff's kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm always up for reinforcing the core message of X-Men, which is oppressed people being hunted down and kind of rising up against that and above that. So I'll give it a shot. We also saw Omega Red and Sabretooth. I'm pretty sure we saw Deadpool as well, which I'm very curious who's going to be voicing him. Is it going to be Nolan North? Is it going to be somebody else? We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if they literally got um, Deadpool. Wow, why am I forgetting his name? Um,
Who? What?
what's that?
What were you saying? Who's
Sorry,
it?
I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if they got Ryan Reynolds himself to voice
Oh,
them because
Deadpool.
Insomniac at this point has that kind of money. But yeah, I would love it for it to be Nolan North too.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have a little random cameo or something. I don't want him in the game,
Yeah,
but I think it'd be distracting just because like it's too on the nose. 'Cause we just had the
it
movie and everything.
yeah. Well, and also it's a more serious tone game. I think he'll just
Yeah,
make a cameo, but we did see him in the trailer, so he'll be there one way or the other.
I don't think he was in that. I think that was just a ninja. I don't think that was Deadpool.
Oh, it looked like him with the suit and stuff.
A
Well,
lot of people
maybe
said
not. I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, it was just a guy in a red ninja suit. Because they did show some game. They did show a bunch of characters at the end too. They showed Sabretooth, for example, and they showed Mystique, and they got this. We saw a little more story elements as well. But yeah, that was not Deadpool. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No, I'm good. I'm day one.
All right. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. We got to see Doctor Doom, Magneto, Green Goblin, and Carnage. I thought it looked great. Of course, I'm very excited for this game. Um, anything interest you about this?
I gotta be real. I totally skipped over this. So yeah, sorry. Fighting games aren't really for me. I even tried fighters, and I don't Dragon Ball Z fighters, and I never got into it. So if it's not Smash, I'm probably not gonna play it. I do
Yeah,
think graphically it's impressive, and I want to also point out that when we talked last week about the leaks about Carnage that ended up being true, so that's cool.
yeah. Carnage was rumored, and I'm glad that it was confirmed to be true. But I think really what stole the show was Green Goblin's design. He looked awesome with the glider and everything. The combos look amazing, and like this game just pops. It looks incredible. This is gonna be one of the marquee fighting games in the fighting community. I mean, I love this 2D 3D mix, team based fighting games. It just looks like a. I love Dragon Ball Fighters, for example, and this game looks exactly like that. So this game looks amazing. It's day one for me. All right, Rayman Legends Retold. What did you think about that game?
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be. At first, I thought it was a remake of the original Rayman game for the PlayStation One, but then I realized it's that side scroller one with big balloon like creatures. I forget what they're called. And then the levels where you play songs and you do platforming to the beat. Anyway, yeah, I mean it looked cool. I forget. Did I put
The
it on my
stuff of
list?
Ted.
No, I didn't. Um, It's not really my genre, although Rayman Legends is not a particularly, from what I understand, super hard game, although there are more difficult levels. But it's just not really my genre, and I never got into Rayman as a kid. He was one of the mascots I didn't get into. But I mean, nothing against the game. It looks great. I'm not really sure. I was watching an IGN kind of preview of the game, and I kind of agree with the guy who was talking about it. I'm not really sure we needed. I know. They don't care about what's needed. They want Ubisoft wants to make money, and everybody wants to cash grab on nostalgia. But of all the games that probably didn't need a remake, this has got to be up there. I mean, you look at the game from 10 years ago. It's got this very distinctive kind of painterly style about it that feels timeless. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it doesn't look better now. It absolutely does, side by side, right? It definitely looks better. And they've added some quality of life things and they've added some new levels. So I'm not saying it's a pure cash grab at all. I don't really know that this needed to happen. I feel like we could have done other Rayman games from older. I don't know if the old Rayman games are not looked at fondly anymore, or if this is like universally seen as the best Rayman game and that's why they're remaking it. I don't know. I'm not super into the Rayman uh fandom. So I don't know what the consensus is. Maybe this is the best, easily the best Rayman game, and that's why they're remaking it. But yeah, it looked good, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I mean, it looked great, really. But yeah, I don't think it needs a remake at all. It's one of the prettiest platformers ever. But they somehow made it look better. But really, yeah, it didn't need to exist. I don't really get why they chose this game of all of them, which is arguably the best in the series. I beat it. I thought it was really good. It's tough, but it's good. But yeah, I don't really get it. Am I getting this day one? Probably not, but I will definitely play it at some point. So uh, definitely keep my eye on it for sure. Comes out October 1st. All right, Boncho the Chef. Did you have anything to say about that one?
No, I'm not really into cooking games, so this didn't do much for me.
Yeah, this one didn't do anything for me either. Kamuri, Hunt the Unseen. That was from Nakamura, and she's very lovable and everything like that. And this is a
She's great.
fast paced yokai fighting gameplay. Fighting game. It's like an action game, like you play with your friends, things like that. What'd you think of this game?
This looked really cool. I have no idea if I'm gonna play it or not. Is it like I couldn't figure out if it was single player or multiplayer or co-op, or did they confirm one way or the other and I missed it? Oh, up to 3-player co-op. I see
Yeah,
that
up to three
now.
player. Yeah.
Ask and you shall receive. But I mean, it sounds like you can play it by yourself too. I put this on my list just because I think this is fucking stylish as hell. Plus, of course, Ikumi Nakamura is just great. I love her. Whenever she shows up, she's the same lady I'm pretty sure who did the spooky thing, right? So she's awesome. I'll always support her games, at least rhetorically, if not financially. So I think she's awesome. And yeah, like you said, she's super charming. As for the game though, yeah, it looked really cool. I don't know a lot about it. It said like you said, a fast-paced yokai fighting gameplay uh kind of style. So I have no idea if this is for me or not, but I did put it on my list.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's for me yet. But it does look cool. I like the style. It looks like Sunset Overdrive. That
Yeah,
was the vibe I was getting.
that's a good comparison. I didn't even think about that.
Somewhat like Jet Set Radio too.
Mm,
So the artwork's really selling it for me, but I just need to see full gameplay. Like obviously we saw some gameplay, but it was like montage and quick snippets and things like
right.
that. I need to
It's
see like
a it's a it's a cut, right?
yeah, I need to see just like someone playing it for 20 minutes before I totally jump
Right.
onto it. But I am happy that's coming to PC. That's where I'll get it if I do get it. So we'll see. So that was a cool announcement. Not that we already knew about it, but it was good to see more of it. All right,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis. I've seen this multiple times the last couple days. They're selling it a lot. Coming out February 12th of next year, and this is a remake of the very first game in the series, which I grew up with on the PS1. So I know the elephant in the room is that this game used AI in the beginning when they were like pre-planning whatever the artwork and things like that. And so some people are going to not get it now, of course, but me personally, I am still very interested in it. It looks really good. Um it's Tomb Raider, so it's more what you expect. Big, big set pieces, fighting dinosaurs and bears, tigers, lions, whatever, and solve puzzles. It's like Uncharted and Tomb Raider. So from what I'm seeing, it looks great visually. And yeah, the only thing is, if I remember correctly, the original Tomb Raider is very puzzle heavy, and I might not enjoy that as much. I'm not a big fan of puzzles, so the balance between puzzles and action is the only thing I think of, like, what would worry me about this game. Because like on Uncharted, for example, I love the action pieces of that game, but like sometimes the puzzles really slow down the pacing for me. I don't like. I'm not saying don't do any puzzles at all because it makes sense because you're an archaeologist and things like that, but still, like I kind of it kind of hurts the pacing at times when it's like a long puzzle and it's like nothing but a set piece where you're just solving a puzzle for like 25 minutes. So, Dory,
Yeah,
obviously
for
the
sure.
AI, you're not interested in it. But
So that's why I've been quiet for the record. I literally did not know about this. So I just looked it up and saw it. Yeah, it's a no thank you for me. I'm very staunchly anti AI. I'm not saying a purist or I'm a perfect person or whatever, but that kind of stuff just means I was already kind of iffy on this because of the whole fucking debacle about how they were portraying Laura. Also, it's produced by Amazon, so there's just like a lot of stuff that to me this doesn't really. It's a shame because I wanted to give this a shot for the record. I'm not saying I wasn't like dismissing it outright. I thought the play looked kind of cool. I love the remake of the remake trilogy, or not the remake trilogy. You know what I mean? The Dynamics trilogy in the 2010s. I love the first game. I haven't tried the second, but I hear great things, and I don't think there was a third game. I'm not aware of there being a third game. Um, but seriously, I mean, I think Laura Croft is a really great character. I think she deserves better than AI garbage. So yeah, won't be a buy for me, unfortunately. I am glad that Dynamics was at least honest about it. Allegedly, they refined and replaced all that AI shit with stuff by humans, but then why use it to begin with? I just think it's dumb, and I'm not going to support studios who are going to do that. So yeah, it's a no for me, but I'm not going to say the game doesn't look great. It does. Dual wielding pistols or dual wielding of any kind, easy soft spot for me. So I think that looks cool. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be great for longtime fans of Tomb Raider and people who have been really missing that kind of original trilogy action adventure vibe, which I think Crystal Dynamics tried to kind of replicate, but eventually started to fall by the wayside in their own trilogy. So I'm not saying I'm not telling people to not buy it, but for me personally, that's a line I'm not willing to cross. But yeah, wasn't something I was even aware of, so that's why I was quiet earlier. But like I said, it still looks impressive. And I think the gameplay looks cool. So I hope it's good, but not for me.
yeah, so the next game is The Lost Wild, which is a dinosaur horror stealth game, and it looked really great. Like obviously, we all expected it to be Jurassic Park Survival, and they've gone radio silent. So next best thing, this dinosaur game looks triple A. The graphics look great. Looks genuinely scary from what we saw. The vibes I was getting was Alien Isolation, but with dinosaurs. It didn't like right here with the on my screen is looking at like a pterodactyl, like a giant pterodactyl. That's creepy.
Yeah.
And and it looked like it was very heavy in terms of like, there's no guns from what we saw, so you got to like throw a bottle at a dinosaur and then run away, that kind of thing. It looked really cool. It's from Annapurna. They're publishing it. Definitely something to keep my eye on. It's coming out in 2027. Any interest in this one?
This one kind of passed me by. I thought that this was at first I thought this was Jurassic Park, and I was like, I'm not really into that. And but I guess it's not Jurassic Park after all. Like I said, this one just kind of flew over my head. I didn't really notice much about it. Um, I'll look at reviews and stuff, but it didn't really grab me.
Yeah. The next one is Phantom Blade Zero, which we already know about. We talked about it, and we're both getting it day one. The only thing to really talk about it is that it got delayed to October 29th of this year, which
Yeah. It says coming well, it's fun. It's weird too because it says coming late summer in this trailer, but then later on in a tweet, the one of the devs clarified it's coming now in late October, which I'm really bummed
yeah,
about because September feels kind of close, but yeah,
yeah,
it's a bummer.
it was going to be early August, now it's going to be late October. I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, I think it's good that it's getting away from the riffraff of August, September, because there's just so much going on in those 2 months. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, it sucks that I have to wait a little more.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a problem being late October. There's always gonna be something around it, of course, and all that. But I'll prioritize this game more than anything else. I think.
Yeah, for sure. This could be one of my games of the year, absolutely. Definitely top 5 if it delivers on what I think it will.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. We've talked enough about it, so
yeah, and plus, like GTA comes out the 19th of November, so I have like 3 weeks to play this game. I'm sure it's not gonna be that long, where it's gonna take me three
no,
weeks to
it'll
be.
take you a week at most.
Yeah, so I think it's a good date. It sucks that we have to wait a little longer, but hey, if it helps the game be more polished and be better, then not a big deal. All right,
Yep.
I think we can skip Dune Awakenings, and I don't think either of us
Yeah,
care about
no, it
that.
didn't do anything for me.
Um, I think the Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster looks cool, but that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's coming out October 1st. Muso games are
Yeah,
like I enjoy them, but I get bored after a while because they're just very repetitive. Like at some point, you kind of get sick of just fighting a bunch of enemies on screen, and then
right.
it's just the same thing over and over and over again. So yeah, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. We got a trailer for it, and a release date coming September 25th as they call it, the state of September.
Yep.
And it looked great, of course. I watched Bakusu play the demo. It's like 90 minutes, so I got to see the game. I didn't play it myself, but
Nice.
I got a sense of how it plays and how it looks and everything like that. And yeah, I'm day one. Very excited for it. I won't say it's a Souls game because that I feel like it's a lazy comparison. Everybody says it's an action adventure game with a camera that looks like a Souls game, but this is purely an action game first and foremost. You might have some Souls moments in terms like you have to dodge or parry or something like that, but it is not a Souls game.
Yeah.
What do you think of? Did you watch the gameplay of this at all? Like,
I did, I did. I've been beaten down by all these trailers and you clarifying to me that these are not Souls games that I finally kind of give
yeah,
it
they're
in. I
not.
did add it to my list of games that I'm not wish listing it, especially since it's $70, which is way too much. I mean, I can look on key sites and stuff, but still, that's a big risk for me to take personally as someone who never played Onimusha. But you're buying it, so I don't know. Maybe we'll go halfsies. We'll talk about it. But anyway, as for the trailer itself, it looks very impressive, graphically very intensive and interesting. I don't know a lot about Onimusha. It's not a series I grew up with, so it's another blind spot for me. But it looks great. I'm not super into slow, methodical combat, but never say never. So I'll
Yeah,
certainly look at reviews, watch what people think. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a big we'll see, but I think it looks great.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You fight demons and you absorb them. You have soul absorbing powers. That's pretty much the game. The only elephant in
Which
the
is so
room.
funny because that's basically Demon Souls.
That's a lot of yeah. It's a lot of Japanese stuff, really. But
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
the only elephant in the room is that the guy playing him is a dead actor that they're using his likeness and all like that. That's the elephant in the room for this game.
Oh shit, that's right. I kind of forgot about that. Oh man, we're gonna talk about that some more in Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, but
Yeesh.
not a big. It's not like a deal breaker for me, but it's just something to keep in mind.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
It is weird, but the game looks great. I'm definitely day
Yeah.
one on it.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that if you get the consent of the estate, I guess it's better, but it's still, yeah, it's still a weird choice. But whatever. I'm iffy enough on the game that it's not really a big
Yeah.
deal to me one way or the other.
The issue wasn't the game itself. The issue is the three games that are coming out the same like 3 days. Like they're all coming out the same day. Uh,
Yes.
so I have to prioritize one of them first, obviously, because then the next game, Silent Hill Townfall, comes out the
God
24th,
damn.
which is one day before Onimusha, and
Yep.
Silent Hill Townfall is going to be obviously an opposite game of Onimusha, where it's going to be very stealth horror based, very psychological, very theme heavy, story heavy, emotional experience. It looks like a slower game, but from what I'm seeing, graphics look great. The lighting's amazing. Very stealth heavy. Doesn't look like you're gonna be able to fight really at all. I'm not usually a big fan of that with horror games. I prefer like horror games where you can have a balance of the two. But I mean, it looks great. It looks like a Silent Hill game. It looks like a genuine horror game, a AAA one. It's published by Annapurna, which I trust. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for it. Any interest in this one?
I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if I'm like day one, but I'm definitely very interested. This is another game where I added. Did I have it on my list of games? Yes, I did. I'm very interested, but similar to you, I'm super cautious about games where you can't fight back. I don't mind that in a limited capacity. Like I love RE7, and I don't mind those sections at all, and I love RE9, obviously. But eventually, I want to be able to fight back. So not always, and it's okay if the game's short and it's that way, that's fine. But if the game's really long and you can never fight back and you have no options, it's just not a fun experience for me. I think what it is it's just too much tension over a too long period of time, and you're just constantly worried about like getting one shotted. That just sounds very stressful to me. Which I mean, some people love that stress, and more power to you. So I don't know if it's my kind of survival horror game, but we'll see. I think it looks quality. To quote Seb, a thing that he loves saying. I think it looks, graphically very impressive, like much of what else we saw on the showcase. So I'm very interested. Another game where I'll be watching with great interest and paying attention to reviews.
Yeah, I am not laughing at people saying "typical day in Scotland,"
That is funny.
but yeah, I hope there's not a one hit kill, feature in this game if you get caught. Like I hope there's some way to distract them or fight back or something. I don't want just like constantly getting attacked, like Alien Isolation. Oh, they found you, you're dead. Like that might get annoying. I'm not a big fan of those kind of games generally, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm probably day one on it. It's just again, I gotta prioritize what I'm gonna play first. All these September games. All right, Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief. Obviously, Dory, you have no interest in that, but
Nope.
I think it looks really cool. I already said this before. We talked about this before. We got to see more gameplay, more story elements. There's a story mode. It looks high quality. Has great graphics, performance. I mean, can't really tell about the performance because we're not really they're only showing snippets of things, but it's what you expect. You know it's a ship, airplane combat simulator game kind of game. Arcadey. It's been around since like I don't know the PS1, PS2. I used to play it I used to rent them from Blockbuster, and they're just really fun to play. That's really what it comes down to. The gameplay is really fun, and the soundtrack is amazing. Every game I feel like has a good soundtrack, and this one is no exception. I'm very excited for the soundtrack alone. But yeah, I'm very interested in it. In my day one on it, I'm not sure. It comes out October 2nd. Nothing really around that. But the thing is, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing all those games from the week before of September, still playing them. So this game feels like a wait. So I am gonna play this game at some point. I'm just not day one probably. I'm gonna wait for a sale for this one. But I am very interested in it. It's definitely on my wish list. So yeah. Any, anything you want to say or
No, nothing for me. It's just not my kind of game. I didn't grow up with these games. I didn't start trying them when I got older. It's just there's just nothing for me here personally, but
Yeah,
glad that the Ace Combat fandom is still getting served.
yeah. All right, the next game is Stuntman Hollywood, which is no, an original IP like on the PS2. They brought it back, and it's what you expect. It's what the title suggests. You do a bunch of stunts with cars from various IPs in Hollywood. It had like Back to the Future. It had Fast and Furious. It had I think it had Kit as well
Yeah.
from Knight Rider. So yeah, like it didn't really show any gameplay, but I think you get the gist of it of what it is. You
I
do,
went through so many emotions with this trailer. So at first, I saw the nitro coming from behind the car, and I got so excited. I thought it was a Burnout remake or a new Burnout game that was going back to like because it was very similar to the Burnout Revenge and Burnout Takedown mini game where you would crash into things and then cause a bunch of property damage and whoever caused the most, yada yada. But it wasn't. It was Stuntman. But I didn't. Another game. I did not grow up with Stuntman. I was aware of it, but I never played it myself. I was too busy playing Burnout, like a cool person. So I wasn't super aware of this. It didn't even come into my mind. Plus, it's been like almost 20 years since the last Stuntman game. So, but yeah, and then also there was like a bunch of movie IPs, and I recognized like Back to the Future. So for a split second, I thought it was a Back to the Future game. I was so confused. I went through a lot of emotions, but anyway, yeah, I was not happy by the end of it. I was like, oh, I have no interest in this. I thought it was Burnout. Then I was super interested. Then I was like, no, this isn't Burnout. And then I thought it was a Back to the Future game, and I was like, what the fuck? And then it was a
yeah,
Stuntman game. Like, oh, okay.
yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
happy.
bummer.
I'm happy for the people that are excited for it because I know people really like this
Yeah,
game. It's an underrated game franchise, but it's not for me personally. It's one of the few announcements that didn't click with me or wasn't for me. I'm not generally a racing fan or a car person fan. Like, there's exceptions like Forza, of course, but I don't go out of my way to play like every racing game. I might play one like maybe one or two a year, if that. So not really for me. I don't think it had a release date for it. It just says
I
coming
don't believe
soon. It
so.
just says coming soon.
Yeah.
So that could be. I'm gonna say next year, early next year, or it could be like in August, September, or something like that. All right, the next game is Ill, which is another horror game. I mean, we talked about this game before. It's a realistic first-person action horror game. This is like apparently you're in a dark fort, and it's gotten taken over by an entity, and it's kind of like The Thing in a way. All these weird, unpredictable monsters, and they like you like decapitate a body, and then the body turns into like a monster. The head turns into a monster.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's gory. It's very nasty. I'm all for it. I'm a big horror fan, and I already had my eye on this game. I'm very excited for this game. And the body physics look amazing. It looks people say it looks next gen, and I can kind of see that. It looks great. I mean, what else is there to say? I'm sure the gameplay is not going to be incredible or anything like that. I wasn't blown away by what I was seeing in terms of that, but I think it should be a quality, just fun horror game. Like I can't imagine this game being like 25 hours long or anything like that. Well, I would imagine like it's 10 to 15 hours or something. But what I'm seeing, it looks good. What about you?
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times now, a couple
Yeah,
times. I just think about the Beastie Boys' ill communication. But yeah, I think this looks awesome. I'm really excited. Seb kind of pointed out to me, and I didn't notice until the second time going around on the trailer. Wow, that voice acting is really not good, huh?
yeah.
Um,
Voice acting is
but
bad.
but yeah, but graphics wise, gameplay wise, it looks fun. I'm This is by the same people who did Atomic Heart, Mundfish Powerhouse. I think it's a separate division of Mundfish, but
Explains the voice
anyway,
acting.
yes, which yeah, I don't remember the voice acting being particularly good there either.
That's what I'm saying.
let alone the writing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm pretty excited for it. Looking forward to it.
Yep. All right. And did we get a release date? I don't think we got anything for that. I think it just said next year.
No, I wish list now.
Okay. Didn't even get that. All right. The next game is Control Rust in it. Again, we talked about this before. Very interested in it. A big fan of Control and Alan Wake. Takes place in that universe. It's Jesse's brother, and obviously they're going for a different type of gameplay compared to Control One, which was like in a building, and it was more linear. It was not linear. It was more like a Metroidvania with closed hallways and much more of a shooter and like throwing objects. This one's going more for a Devil May Cry, like fighting enemies with swords and big open area and big open New York and things like that. Very different than the first game. It looks great. I mean, it's Remedy. I love Remedy. I trust them. Graphics look good. The gameplay looks good. Should be a blast. Storyline's probably going to be all batshit crazy. I've already seen a lot of crazy visuals. Not just from this trailer, but from like gameplay and things I've seen on Twitter and the last couple days. It looks very trippy, as you would expect. I mean, it has everything going for it. The only thing I don't like is the release date because it's coming out the 24th, and I already it's talked about Onimusha and Silent Hill coming out all on the 24th and the 25th as well. So that's like three big games in the same week. Somebody has to move.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a mistake for somebody. I know it sucks to having to move or whatever, but it might be better for your game.
I I honestly think Silent Hill Townfall probably has the most to lose compared to those other two bigger
Yeah, yeah.
IPs, and also Silent Hill would make the most sense because it's a horror game. So why not put it in early October?
Well, this one makes sense in
Just delay
October
it by like
too.
a week or two.
I mean,
Yeah. What's that?
Control is kind of horror like too.
Yeah, yeah. It's got some horror-ish vibes to it, with the Alan Wake connection, especially. So I wouldn't be surprised if they move too. What's left to say about Control Resident? I mean, I feel like this is one of those games where I feel like we've seen enough. I'm sold. I was sold like two trailers ago. I don't really need to keep seeing it. Nothing against it, but I just feel like I've seen it enough.
Yeah,
I don't really even know what this, besides the release date, I'm not really sure what we even got out of this. Just that Jesse's still involved in the plot, which, like, duh.
yeah.
And we got some
We
more
got
like funny videos from the,
yeah,
from the good scientist, the good doctor.
yeah. The big thing was just getting the release date. That's really much what it showed them that was new. And yeah,
Yeah,
we're both very excited for it.
for sure.
That'd probably be a game we'd split or something. Like that's something we both would
Yeah,
play. It's one of those things. All right. We could skip a lot of the remaining stuff because it doesn't interest us. Marathon. Neither of us play Marathon.
nope.
The PS Plus games, they were cool. Some people were happy about that, especially the Guitar Man one. But I don't have Plus anymore. I play on PC, so it does nothing for me.
Yep.
So all we have left is Until Dawn 2 and God of War Laffy. So let's talk about Until Dawn 2. Now I knew Fire Sprite was working on a horror game. That was the rumor for a while. I just didn't know it was going to be Until Dawn 2. Now I did know Until Dawn 2 was being worked on. I just didn't know it was going to be Fire Sprite. And I mean for me it's about what you expect from these kind of games, right? I mean, you and I have both played practically every Dark Picture game. The only one
Yep.
I haven't played is the Little Devil and not Little Devil and Me or something like that. Almost said Little Devil Inside. The what was it? Devil and Me or something like that. Devil and
Yeah,
Me.
The Devil in Me. That's the only one I haven't played so far.
Yeah, and they mostly been like 6 out of 10 games, honestly.
There are
So
sevens, or I think a couple of them are sixes, and then there's even like a couple that are eights. So
yeah, House of Ashes was the best one, I think.
yeah, House after Until Dawn. Well, I haven't gone back and played Until Dawn, but yeah.
Yeah, Until that was
Look,
my favorite.
I guess I have a controversial take here. Did I put this on my list? No, I did not. I I think this is weird. this is weird on in a lot of ways. It's been 10 years since the original. This is a completely different studio. It is a spiritual successor to the first one. It has nothing to do with the first one. As far as we can tell, of course, there could be secrets and it could all tie back in. But it's a totally different studio, totally different characters. I don't even know why we're using the Until Dawn property except to get people hyped, I guess, which I mean apparently it worked. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like stuffing the nerds into lockers who were asking for this because, like, I don't know. I personally did not need this. I guess they're bringing back the Wendigos, or that's the tie back. I don't know. There are a lot of people in
Are
the
they?
comments. YouTube comments were talking about Wendigos, so maybe there's a connection there.
I think they for I
But
think
yeah,
people. I think
you know
people.
what's funny?
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
Oh,
Go. Go ahead.
after yeah. I thought this was Dead Island 3 for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is cool. They're doing Dead Island 3. I still gotta play 2." And then it was like then the title reveal happened, and I was like, "The fuck?"
Yeah. That's what I
So
said.
I mean, it's got nothing. I'm nothing. You know, I've got nothing against Fire Sprite Studio. I don't even know them. That's the other thing. I have no idea who this studio is or why I should be excited about this. It's just a big for me. So I don't know. I'm a big negative Nancy about this one, I guess. But Seb, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, Fire Sprite. They made the Horizon game, the VR one, and
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I
Yep.
think they were making like a shooter, but then it got canceled or something like that. There was something they were working on, or maybe I'm misremembering. Um, says staff left in droves after Call of the Mountain was made, and I said once all but one of the original founders left the studio. Executives from Sony's ex-dev support studio took over. Multiple employees reported the studio's new leadership for sexual discrimination and ageism, but allegations were reportedly dismissed by Sony. Long story
What
short,
the
this
fuck?
is basically like their first like major game. It's a studio in Liverpool, but they've technically been around for 14 years and part of PlayStation since 2021. So in terms of the game itself, I'm more positive on it than you are. Obviously, I really like Until Dawn. It's my favorite one of all of them. I think this game looks more quality than the Dark Pictures games. I see the better graphics and the. I'm sure the writing's going to be better, and the it just feels more AAA and more of a budget than those games do. It doesn't feel like it's going to be made in 5 minutes. So, because that's what the Dark Pictures games feel like sometimes. They feel like they're just made so fast and they have technical issues and jankiness. I didn't see that from this game. I'm sure this game's going to be quite polished considering it's been 10 years since the first one. And then my first thought was Dead Island 3 as well, and that's the vibe I was getting. I literally said that when I was live reacting to it, like this looks like Dead Island. I thought that's what it was. I thought it was like a zombie game on an island or something. But I guess my mind didn't just totally blanked out that it was gonna be Until Dawn. Though I was like, what? I just didn't see it. It's kind of weird that Supermassive is not involved in it, but I guess because I guess Sony doesn't have a great. Honestly, I don't want to say anything. I'm sure Sony doesn't probably work as closely with them as much anymore. Um, and maybe good riddance because they're making mediocre games half the time anyway. Okay, so in terms of the Wendigos, it wouldn't make any sense obviously because Wendigos were part of like that area, or like if you there was the cannibal curse or whatever in Native Americans, and if you were really so hungry and you ate a corpse because you were so hungry, based on a true story because this actually happened when people got in a plane crash in the snow and they had to eat the bodies of their friends and things like that. And so when you do that, you get the Wendigo curse, and you turn into a Wendigo. That would make any sense in this game, obviously, because they're in a different climate, different location. It's probably gonna be a completely different supernatural element in this game. So,
Yeah, I'm just reading from Eurogamer about all the Fire Sprite Studio stuff. Jesus Christ, this place sounds like a mess. So
yeah,
I already wasn't involved interested, and now I'm super not interested. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe I mean I hope they've turned around. Maybe those Sony execs have moved on and or apologized, or I don't know, but probably
yeah,
not. It seems like it was just dismissed by Sony, which is kind of fucked up. Apparently they said it was a misunderstanding. So yikes. I don't
yeah.
know how you misunderstand sexual harassment and ageism, but okay. But anyway, yeah, the whole thing is like yikes forever for me. I just kind of had like kind of aesthetic, cosmetic reasons to not be interested. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna stay far away from this. But I don't know. I guess I hope it's good. I guess I don't know. I have no positive feelings towards this at this point.
Yeah, it must have a budget because it has big actors in it. I mean, the Dark Pictures games always has seems like it has the same people. They keep, you know, they always have recognizable faces that I've seen multiple times in the games. This has the guy Billy from Stranger Things. It has the kid from Cobra Kai. It has Neil Newbon, who's a Asterian. So
Yeah.
this is big actors in this. So it's not like a little thing either. For right now, I will play it. But is it a day one? I can't say that yet. Maybe a wait for a sale, but I will play it at some point. Just because as a horror fan, I feel like I'll probably enjoy it. So yeah, just a big surprise more than anything. I'm not hyped for it. I'm just like, wow, okay, they're doing a second one. But they ended the first game with a cliffhanger, and he's still a monster in the snow. Like we're just gonna move on from that, I guess. All right, let's move on to the last game of the state of play, which is God of War Laffy, starring Faye, which is Kratos' wife. This is from Santa Monica. This is directed by Cory Barlog. So, like, he didn't direct Ragnarok. And right off the bat, we got to see her in the afterlife, and the graphics look stunning. The visuals pop, the colors really pop. The afterlife just looks amazing. Seeing the mix of different cultures was really cool. There's an Egyptian god, a Tibet god, and talking cube. Uh,
Gelatinous Cube.
yeah,
His name is Greg. Thank you.
spelled a certain way.
Yeah. What a whiplash to go from Until Dawn 2, which I had absolutely no interest in, and now I have negative interest in,
Yeah.
to Laufey, which is everyone's going to argue about how to pronounce this. There's like three or four different pronunciations, but I'm going with what Corey
Well,
Barlog said.
technically, even the English way is wrong because it's supposed to be a V sound because it's not a English word.
Yeah, well, the way that I think we pronounce Kratos is wrong too, at least in the ancient Greek, right? So
Yeah.
isn't that supposed to be different too? So it's I don't know. It's in the very literal sense, it's all Greek to me. But anyway, I'll just go with what Corey Barlog said, which is Laufey. But
Yeah.
this looks amazing. I'm just gonna call it Devil Fake Cry. But this looks amazing to go from Until Dawn 2 to this was such a whiplash. I was so we'd already talked about the rumors, obviously. And then I when we were starting and they were like, wow, a 20-minute thing. Like, what the hell could this be? And then they started and I heard like the owls going and the music started kicking in. I was like, oh, it's God of War. And this was like my fastest, like, because I was like, what else would they dedicate this amount of time to? The
Yeah.
sounds familiar. I knew obviously we'd heard about the rumors about Lao Fei before,
Yeah.
or just Fei. The combat looks amazing. This game looks done. I'm sure it's not actually done, but it looks really close to being done. I'm really happy on a more personal note. I mean, it's not personal. I don't know her, but I'm really happy for Deborah Ann Wool getting a lead role. She's a terrific actor. She didn't get a lot of roles after Daredevil. The original run of Daredevil kind of ended on Netflix, which was a huge. I mean, she's doing fine for herself, but it's just a bummer because she's such a great actress and everything she does, she's very talented in. So I'm super happy for her to have a leading role in a big AAA game like this. I think that's awesome. Obviously, she's been killing it in the new Daredevil series as well. She's always been a great actor. So yeah, I'm just really happy for her. I'm beyond excited for this. This was a big reason why this showcase was like an 8 out of 10 for me. Starting with Wolverine and ending with this, huge like ups, and then the stuff in between wasn't bad either. But we'll talk about that after. But yeah, I mean the combat looks really fluid and fun. The story looks really interesting. I didn't even realize. I think I'm quoting somebody from IGN here, kind of, but I didn't even realize I really wanted to know more about Faye. But now that I have that opportunity, I kind of do, because we didn't really get to know her in the first two games. It's just super exciting. But anyway, Seb, go ahead before I ramble.
Yeah. So first thing is funny that Kratos is like she's in peace now, and then like meanwhile she's getting thrown 50 yards across the map into a mountain and getting her fighting a demon and dealing with all this drama and all that. Yeah, the gameplay looks amazing. It looks fluid. It looks more aerial. A lot more Devil May Cry than God of War. God of War is no action based too, but he's very grounded. He's a big tank guy. He's not doing
Yeah,
aerial combat. Even Atreus is not really doing that like she was. The Cube was cool. It's by Jack Quaid, who I really like. You know, the boys. So I'm not even gonna call him by his name. I'm just gonna call him Cubey because you know Huey, Cubey.
yep,
That's where everybody's making a bunch of boys jokes constantly about it, like "Oi, Cubey," and
yep.
yeah, I thought that was a cool. It's goofy, but it's like it still kind of works. It just works. He's and the cube and the sword are like main characters because like they're on the cover art too, so they're not just like like one scene. Like they're main side characters. And I'm sure he's gonna get a real form later in the game and everything like that. I also love the picture of Jack Quaid wearing like a square. They wear the outfit with the dots on them for the CGI, and he actually has
Yeah,
square bars around him. He's actually playing the cube itself.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, because they did like interviews and stuff after. But yeah, I think the world, the story, the characters, the gameplay, everything looks incredible. I'm not the biggest fan of doing a
Oh,
20-minute showcase at the end of a show. Like I'd rather that be its own separate thing. But
yeah,
I still was
sure.
very interested the whole time. So
I,
but
I also want to say big ups to Alana Pierce, who
yeah,
also wrote on this game. So I think that's super awesome. There's a cool video, YouTube video of her just reacting to a game that she wrote that she wasn't able to talk about for years. She's no longer with Santa Monica, but she was with Santa Monica when they were writing for Laufey. And I think it's such a cool experience to see someone reacting to a game that they wrote on. Like you never get to really see that because a lot of writers
yeah,
aren't super, they don't have their own YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of people. Anyway, I think that's super awesome too. So just on a lot of like, because I've been following Alana for a few years now, and I think she's super awesome. And she obviously did Milena on Dispatch. She was great there too, or Malevola. I just think on a like a kind of a me level, I'm very excited for this game and the people who are involved. And then just on a gameplay level, it looks incredible. I'm very interested in the different kind of combat compared to Kratos. I think that's really cool. Obviously, like Seb said, there's the funny aspect which people are noting on YouTube where it's like, oh, she's at peace now, boy. She's got like fucking devils like fucking stomping her face in and shit. But it looks awesome. It looks really cool. The other interesting thing is that they said that this is the afterlife of the gods, like
yeah.
all of the gods, which some people think means we're gonna see some old friends from the original
I think so.
trilogy. So yeah, I think so as well. So that's really exciting too. And I wonder if they bring back the original voice actors or they bring back new ones. I'm sure in some situations
Sure.
it will be impossible unless they pull a Tupac or something. But yeah, I we'll see what happens. But I mean, I am beyond hyped. I mean, this is a day zero for me.
Yeah.
Same with Wolverine. This is why I keep that dusty bag of bolts over there. You can't see it; it's off screen, but I'm pointing to my PS5 very, very strongly. This
Yeah.
is why I keep my PS5 for games like this. So
Hmm.
it just looks amazing. I am absolutely there. Santa Monica does fantastic games. Ragnarok was, I think, top three in 2022, and God of War was in my top five the year it came out in 2017 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Um, just beyond hyped, beyond hyped.
Yeah, absolutely. God of War 2018 was my game of the year in 2018. And that I thought that game was such a masterpiece that I picked it better than Red Dead Redemption 2, which is also a masterpiece. So that's how tight that year was. And then Ragnarok was like my top two. I think it was my second favorite game that year. I think obviously it came out the same year as Elden Ring. Elden Ring was
Yeah,
definitely a superior game, but Ragnarok was great too. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm day one. God of War is my favorite PlayStation franchise. It always has been. I've been a giant fan of God of War since day one, 2005 when I was like 12 years old. God of War is I played every single one, beat every single one. It's my It's by far my favorite PlayStation franchise. Totally sold on this. This is day one for me. Like, we didn't get a release date, but it sounds like it's coming soon. Uh, they made it clear. Well, I think it was what was it? Who said it? I forget who said
I
it.
think
Who?
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name for some reason. I can picture his face, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
But he writes for Bloomberg. I can't remember his name.
Jason Schreier.
Uh,
Jason Schreier.
Jason Schreier, yeah, he said that
It's coming soon.
there sometimes they show trailers for games that are years away, but this is not one of them. So, I guess the latest we're getting it is summer of next year. I don't know when did Ragnarok and the original, not the original, you know what I mean, the original God of War come out. I don't remember.
God, the first one came out in 2018, and then Ragnarok came out in 22.
No, I meant for months. Ragnarok came
Oh,
out in November.
yeah. And then I want to say it came out April, the first one, 2018.
Yeah,
That sounds right. You can fact check that.
I'll fact check it in a
I feel like it
second.
was a
The
spring.
second one came out in November, so that's not relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. April 20th. Yep.
Yeah. So to me, it feels like a first half of the year game, maybe like the spring, but I could see the summertime too. And if you do the summertime like in May, I feel like you should do it Mother's Day weekend. I think you should do that Friday. That'd be
You should.
that'd be
That would be
perfect.
awesome. They should do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling spring 2027 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother's Day would be hype. That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's what I would do. And I could see May,
Yep.
but I feel like it's gonna be April, maybe March. But May's fine
Yeah.
too. May or June
It,
is fine as well. I mean, this summer it feels like summer
like I
yesterday.
said, it looks really done. At least the section we saw, right? I mean, I'm sure there are
Yeah.
parts of the game that are not as done as that, but I mean, to
Mm,
show off a 20-minute segment that is that finished,
yeah.
I gotta think, I gotta think spring over summer. But I mean, that's also
Yeah.
me just being hopeful.
Part of me thinks it would maybe coming out this year if GTA wasn't coming out this year, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't think you want to put it so close to Wolverine. I don't think you want to overshadow Wolverine. Yeah, this just feels like a first half next year game. All right, I think we talked about everything with that game, and we're both very excited for it. And so we can move on to the Summer Game Fest now.
Yeah.
But
I did want to say overall, solid
overall, yeah,
showcase.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Wolverine, Phantom Blade, uh, Control Resonant, and God of War were the big ones for me. But yeah, really solid showcase. It only went an hour, maybe a little more than
It
an
was like an
hour. I thought it
hour,
was
20 minutes,
really,
maybe.
yeah, really well paced. And some really good showcases. So I was very happy.
Yeah, I like the majority of the games. I was very excited for a lot of them. Getting a lot of them on PC, but I am excited for it. It made me want to, use my PS5 more because obviously they're not coming to PC now. So I'm going to start using my PS5 more. I just beat Saros recently, and I'm gonna play
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotai this summer, which I bought. And I'm gonna be playing Death Stranding 2, which connects to my PlayStation. So I do get trophies through PC.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I believe anyway. I haven't played it yet, but I believe that's true. But either way, it was true for Stellar Blade, and it was true for Lost Soul aside. I could get trophies on PC. I think Ghost of Tsushima too. But yeah, I thought it was an 8 out of 10 show. I thought it was good. I was very excited for a lot of the games shown. I had a good time live reacting with people, and yeah, I was very happy. It wasn't as good as the last day to play we had, like the one before this one, because that one was like phenomenal. But
Yeah.
this one was very good as well. They've been very good. The state of play is starting to get a lot better now. So,
Oh, Seb's popular, everybody.
yep. All right, so now we can move on to the Summer Game Fest showcase, which Jeff hosts every year. It's E3's replacement, um, for the good and the bad, because I feel like there's just too many showcases and it's hard to follow everything. I feel like you and I follow it better because we know what to look for and we know the indies and things like that. But I imagine if you're a casual person, good luck trying to figure out what the heck to watch because it's like beyond overwhelming. Um, at least the showcases are like well named. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this is the cozy game show. Okay, so I know what to expect. These games are all going to be cozy. Oh, it's the wholesome game show. Like, okay, we know what that's going to be wholesome. So at least they're properly named. But still, there's just so many of them. But we're only gonna talk about the summer showcase for this episode. We'll talk about all the indies in a future episode. So right off the bat, they start off with a big game, which was Resident Evil Veronica, which is the Code Veronica remake. Was expected. I mean, people. The rumor was just getting way too hot. Like there was just so many signs for it. Before we even get into it, apparently Resident Evil Zero was supposed to come first, but Code Veronica was developed so fast, even faster than they expected. Like it just they just found their groove so well with it. They decided to go Code Veronica first, and yeah, so we got to see it. They showed first person. Now the game's only in third person. I think this was just for the trailer or something, from my understanding
Man,
anyway.
I just watched that trailer back. I got chills, dude. And I
Yeah,
mean, I got my AC going on right next to me, but still. Um, Sorry, is there something you wanted to say? I didn't want to cut you off.
yeah. Just before
I
you get
thought you
into
were
it,
sure.
so right off the bat, I knew it was Code Veronica because first of all, the RE engine is pretty identifiable. Like
Yep.
my very first art thought, because obviously there was not enough to go on yet, was this Wolfenstein or something like that? You know what I mean? Like that was my first thought. European setting. But as a Resident Evil, uh, I have a PhD in Resident Evil lore, and I know Claire goes to Europe to find Chris after Resident Evil 2, like immediately after Resident Evil 2. She basically abandons Leon and Sherry and goes out to, and that's when Leon becomes
Terrible mother.
Leon
Terrible
bec-
surrogate
yeah,
mother.
Leon becomes a secret agent only because the government blackmails him to so he can protect Sherry and watch her and things like that. Claire goes off to Europe, goes on a European trip to find Chris. But Chris is off in Europe because that's where Umbrella has all their headquarters and shit like that. And long story short, Claire gets kidnapped, which we saw in the trailer. She gets captured in the trailer, and she gets sent to Rockford Island, which is a island in the Pacific. So she gets stranded on an island way far away from Europe in the Pacific, and then Chris has to go find her. But so in this trailer, it started off with a granny taking her to where Chris was staying. Now there was a lot of signs to pick up that was Resident Evil right off the bat. I mean, she says your brother's in the third floor, and then she even said something with a boulder. She said he's like a boulder. I'm just like, I didn't pick up on that at first because there were people talking during the trailer, but like when I rewatched, I'm like, oh, Resident Evil 5 reference. I mean, that's a little nod to Chris, punching boulders, and
Yep.
then and then obviously you get the vibe that she was looking for her brother, and he's in a mess because he's probably too busy running around trying to solve a mystery and things like that, so he doesn't care about the mess. And then we got to see Claire's hand. She picks up a cigarettes because Chris is a smoker. Like that's been known since the 90s. And then she looks through the door
Mhm.
hole. She comes outside, and then she gets captured by. It could be Hunk, but I think it's Rodrigo. Rodriguez, whatever, I forgot his name. Rodrigo. He,
Rodriguez.
I think his name is Rodrigo, but either way, he kidnaps her in the original game too. They did say they're doing this game out of order, where sequences that we know of are going to be done in different order, because like obviously Code Veronica starts with her running from a helicopter and then shoots the windows, and then she fights a bunch of soldiers, and then she gets captured. Um, we might still see that, but I could see that being a gameplay sequence and not a cutscene, opening cutscene. Obviously, this is going more for a subtle, more grounded, darker horror based version of Code Veronica, because Code Veronica is very over the top. They did the same thing with Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 still had the goofy action moments and things like that. The remake I'm talking about had the over the top goofy moments, but it was way more grounded and darker than the original one. The original one, well, like Leon was straight up action hero and doing like backflips and like running up
Yep.
the wall and doing all these one liners. He still had that in the remake, but not as much.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was
know.
definitely toned down.
Yeah, and I think with this one too, because Code Veronica came out in 2000. This is not. It's going to be very anti 2000s. It's going to be a lot more 2026 ish than it is going to be 2020 or 2000, where the campiness, like back then, campiness was like the thing. and like more acceptable. I feel like if the characters are like way over the top and goofy, it's not going to be as liked by people's standards. So what do you think of the trailer, Door? I know I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's basically your baby. So number
Yeah,
one, I was bummed that I wasn't here when Seb saw it. I had just gotten off of work, and so I was very irresponsible. First off, I was watching this while I was at work. Now, to be fair, most of the kids were gone. I was in a room pretty much by myself with adults. But yeah, I was watching a little bit of this while I was at work.
I watch
But we
these in
were kind of
class
winding.
sometimes. I watch these in class sometimes. So
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever. I didn't get in any trouble, and nobody got hurt, so it's whatever. But yeah, I didn't want to miss anything. I started seeing it, and I definitely recognized the engine, but I couldn't place it. And I really got to get better about seeing the RE engine because this happened with RE9 as well, as I didn't pick up on the RE engine at first. But I really should by now. But yeah, I saw that the the I definitely got the horror vibes very early on, kind of creepy old woman, and I couldn't quite hear it because I was at work. So similar reason to Seb that I didn't pick up on some lines. Like if she had said your brother's like a boulder, I would have been like, but I didn't hear that, of course. That was with kids. And then she gets grabbed and they say, and then the V showed up, and immediately I knew. As soon as the V showed up, I was like, "Oh, this is Code Veronica." So I never played Code Veronica as a kid. I did play a lot of the Resident Evil games when I was younger: RE2, RE3, obviously RE4, RE5. I played RE1 and Zero. I'm pretty sure I played all of them. I didn't play any of the spin-off games, but I tried pretty much all of them. I loved horror when I was younger.
Yeah.
My mom
It's
never had a problem with me playing them
yeah.
because they were whatever.
Co-
Um,
yeah, Code Veronica is technically a mainline game, but like basically PlayStation was like, if you're gonna put our games on our platform, it has to be numbered. So Resident Evil 3 became what Code Veronica should have been. Code Veronica really is the Resident Evil 3. So,
mm,
but because it was on the Dreamcast, they had it. They were not allowed to use a number, so they had to change the title to Code Veronica.
yeah, for sure. And now they're kind of positioning it. It feels like they're positioning it as
No,
RE5, right?
they are
I
because
mean,
this is the fifth remake, and the V is definitely there on purpose.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's why
So,
it's called Veronica.
but yeah, I mean,
That's why it's called Veronica. I think
yeah.
because the V.
Um, Right. Yeah, I'm excited. I know very little about this game, but I trust Capcom pretty much with my life. I think at this point, if I needed a studio to help me out of a situation, I'd probably call Capcom. They are just an excellent studio at this point. I have a lot of respect for them. I remember one of their uh contests or something or employment things for Mega Man was like they literally had a picture of like Dr. Wily or something, or not Dr. Wily, but Mega Man's creator telling artists that the no AI generated stuff would be accepted and they need to pick up a pencil. So I was like, yeah, the Capcom's the goat. So they've just been on such an amazing run. We've talked about it plenty. I'm very excited for Code Veronica. I don't have my PhD in Resident Evil like Seb does, but maybe I have like, my bachelor's in it or something like that,
You
right? I
probably do
know a
at this
good
point.
amount.
You played all. You played pretty much all of them at this point. Not like
That's true.
not all the spin-offs or like not Code Veronica, but
Right. Yeah, I didn't play the DS games or
you've
whatever,
played
but
enough where
yeah.
at this point. But yeah, so uh we did see some like snippets of the actual like content of the game too. Like we got to see some locations. We got to see the dragonfly, which was from the cutscene with the two twins. We got to see Alfred a little bit in his outfit. We got to see the Nazi guy, like because the Alfred and Alexei are based on Nazis. Like the original plan for Code Veronica was like Umbrella worked with Nazis and things like that, and like that's why they have like that kind of aesthetic. Very German, blonde hair, military outfits. It's still kind of there. It's subtle. So I'm curious if they're gonna go deep with that because they did show a Nazi uniform body in the trailer, and then we got to see the helicopters flying to the island, which was the opening cutscene of Code Veronica in the original. We got to see the Golden Lugers a lot and there's the two guns you put in the door. The hooded guy that put his hood on really fast. I think that's Steve. Obviously, Steve is like the Jar Jar Binks of Resident Evil. He's notoriously hated. He has a very annoying Canadian accent. And he's very goofy and very over the top, and he does some creepy stuff with Claire. Like he has a crush on her. He's a teenager, and she's like 21, so it's not like he's like 19. So it's not like he's like a young kid or anything like that. But like there's some like he wants to kiss her, and he's like she's sleeping, that kind of thing. Like it's like it's not meant to be creepy, but it's like 2000. It's different
Yeah.
era. And I'm sure they're gonna make him way less annoying and more grounded. They already did that with Dark Side Chronicles, where they did a different version of him. I'm curious how they're gonna do him though. I do hope they keep some campiness with Alfred. Alfred is very goofy, over the top villain. Like his laugh is like famous, and it's so bad it's good. I do hope they keep some of that. I don't want it to be completely by the number straight, like and just afraid to be a little goofy. But I think Capcom's walked that line a bit with the remakes. Like there's some goofiness in it. So
Yeah.
but the big elephant in the room really with Code Veronica is are they going to do the cross dressing theme again? What like because Alfred pretends to be someone like I don't want to spoil it, but that's that's the premise. And are they going to go that route? Like I don't know. So that's the big question as well. But my understanding is this is what Dusk Golem said. This game's gonna be open area, open world. Like Claire's gonna be able to ride on a motorcycle and drive around. It's gonna be like Resident Evil 9 with Raccoon City, from my understanding. And I feel like I heard that Chris is not a major character in terms of like the original game. It's like half Claire, half Chris. This one sounds like it's gonna be like 80% Claire. It sounds like she's like the main character. And her design, by the way, is amazing. They really made her look even better than their Resident Evil 2 remake. She looks
Yeah.
incredible. Um, we're going in detail with this one more than any other game because there's only two games really this showcase that have like they're like oh my god moments. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of great games in the showcase, but this one
Yeah.
was like the big So we can go in this one for in a little more detail than like we are. That's why we're going pretty deep into it. But yeah,
Also, Seb's a huge fanboy.
yeah, but you wouldn't pick up on all of those things unless you're a big Resident Evil fan, of course. They're very subtle. I'm assuming the hooded guy is Steve, but it has to be. It just makes sense. You could see his hair and it's brown and it looks like it. So yeah, this game. I mean, I can't say this game looks amazing because they haven't really shown anything yet. But like obviously, in my day one, I'm like day zero. So I can use that pun when we get to Resident Evil Zero remake. Day zero on it. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for it. It's like what is there to say? I'm so like it's Resident Evil, and it's from the director. I think is Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 4 remake director. So don't expect Resident Evil 3 cut half the game out content. I feel confident this is going to be a quality game. So all right, anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No, we didn't really see enough, at least for me,
Yeah, I did.
for me to really speculate or say much.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you had ton to say because I really had nothing else to say. I'm hyped. I have no idea how they're going to deal with the cross dressing thing. I kind of hope that they just do what Square did and just fucking rock it and just embrace it and,
they
like you said, like
can.
walk that line of camp.
Yeah, cause it's like
I'll, I'll-
it's more like Psycho than it is like making fun of anyone. It's just like a Psycho, like the movie Psycho moment, that kind of
Well,
thing.
and we talked about this last time, or one of the times we talked about Code Veronica. That's a classic thing, like you said, from the Psycho movie, where it's like mentally unstable people are cross dressing and stuff, which I
Yeah,
think is a bad
yeah,
kind of correlation to make, and especially when trans people are getting attacked figuratively and literally. So,
yeah. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
it's a
So
risky it's a risky trope to do. I don't think you can't do it, but I think you have to be careful about it. And I think that the way that Square Enix did it was very beautiful with Cloud. I thought they did it great there. I had no problem with how they did it.
yeah,
Me personally, I'm not speaking for every trans person, but just for me. So I mean, if they can do something like that, great. If they get rid of it, I'm fine with that too. I mean, it probably wasn't great looking back. But yeah, I don't have a huge opinion. I've never seen it, and I am not going to go out of my way to watch it either, because I have an idea of what it probably looks like. So, but I mean, on the whole, I'm very excited. I trust Capcom. If they let me down in this one respect, even then, I'll still be excited for the game. But we'll see. I'm not gonna judge too harshly. That was fucking 25 years
Well,
ago
there's just
or
no way to
something.
know. We don't even know what Alfred looks like yet, so it's hard to really
Yeah,
say
so I'm
anything.
not I'm not I'm not too worried one way or the other. I trust Capcom, like I've said.
Yeah. All right, we can move on now.
Yeah.
Obviously we're a little faster with the rest of the games, besides the last one, of course. But this showcase did have a good amount of games. The next one was Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is a sequel to the original Cuphead, but they didn't really go into much detail after that. But it's a sequel, but it's kind of like a spin-off really too, though, because it doesn't do the hand drawn aesthetic really. It's going more for like old school 8-bit graphics, and it can play on an old school system. That was the whole point of it. Um, I kind of would prefer a sequel like to be like hand drawn cartoon again than this, but I still thought it looked cool though. So I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not like over the moon over it, but I am interested in it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, first off, the fact that Cuphead almost came out 10 years ago is very scary, and I feel my cells dying within my body as we speak. Second, I'm not really sure why the studio waited so long to make another Cuphead game. I'm very kind of confused about that. Is
Takes a
there a
long time,
reason?
I
Is it because
guess.
yeah, I don't know. I know they were working on an animated show, but I don't know if that ever happened. I don't think it
Yeah, it's
did.
on Netflix.
Oh, okay, so it did happen. Was it any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good if you like
Okay, great.
cartoons. Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, look, I tried Cuphead in the 2010s, not long after it came out, 2017, 2018. I was trash at it. I didn't have much fun. It's not a bad game. I'm just not good at it, and it's not the kind of game for me at all. So this didn't do anything for me. I did like that it said breaking news, art using hand-drawn art. I thought that was cool. Little dig at AI. Always appreciate that. Also loved the Muppet bit with the news reporter. Thought that was cool in general. So yeah, nothing really from me here.
yeah. I think the coolest thing was that you can play on a 8-bit. They're actually releasing an 8-bit version.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I thought that was cool. All right. The next game was Alien Isolation 2. My first thought was keep this game away from Ryan McCaffrey, because
but
this
but Seb, it got a 6 out of 10, and nothing really happened,
5 out of 10. Um,
or 5 out of 10. I'm sorry.
5 out of 10. Alien too scary. IGN. No. Alien Isolation has its issues for sure. Is it a 5 out of 10? No, that was an atrocious review, and I hated that he doubled down on it with the sequel. He said something stupid on Twitter and got flamed for it. And
Yeah, that's what I was quoting.
I
Yeah,
thought that was stupid too. But um, Alien Isolation to me is one of the greatest horror games ever made. It does do it is a stealth base. You get captured one time, you die kind of game. And there's a lot of frustrating moments that they could clean up with this one. I thought that game was a little too long. I thought the cyborg sections at the end were too long. Were not necessary and dragged the game out a bit. So hopefully they clean it up with this game. The cool thing about this game, it seems like it's going for more of the setting looks like it's going to take place on a planet, not just on a ship the whole time. So you can do a lot more freedom. It'd be kind of cool to see what it would it be like if an xenomorph like hunts you in the woods or something. That could be cool. Um, but yeah, I think it looks. I mean, they didn't really show anything, but they captured the tone very well, and it looks scary. Um, it's pretty much what you expect from an Alien Isolation game, I think. Right? It's gonna be a stealth-based game, creepy setting, creepy tone, creepy music. You're gonna be hunted, stealth-based, very stealth-based. And the one thing about Alien Isolation that did a really great job was the AI, how good it was. That AI is really adaptive and
yeah,
finds you easily. So it's kind of cool. It's one of the greatest horror games ever, and
yeah.
I,
One
I
of, one of the
I'm very
things I love
excited.
about the original Alien Isolation is that you can ask the alien any question you want, but it's weird because sometimes they'll give you wrong answers. Super strange. Anyway, obviously we mean a different kind of AI. Look, I meant to say this earlier, but Seb rudely cut me off by being a fanboy for about 5 minutes. But the pop that I'm using wrestling
I
terminology,
will
I'm
not
sorry.
apologize.
The audience reaction that this got and Resident Evil Veronica got, oh my god, just so good. It's
Yeah.
similar to the RE9 reveal, just really good, gives me chills. I'm kind of ashamed to say I've never played Alien Isolation. I do want to play it at some point. It's just some of the things about it kind of give me pause in terms of the save point system and, like you said, those cyborg sections that are not very fondly remembered.
Yeah.
But I do want to play it at some point just because it's a horror classic and I do love survival horror, and I know that there are mods to have a more forgiving save system. So I'd probably do that because I am not losing hours of progress.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think this is cool. I'm really excited for Ryan McCaffrey's next review. Can't wait for that.
He was watching it with
And
IGN too.
I really hope IGN
They
gives him
did.
the review just because it would
Oh.
be funny. Just because it would. No, I meant this
Oh
one because
yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
super funny.
It would be.
And he gives it a 6. That'd be amazing. Or gives it a 3. That'd be awesome. I don't actually want that to happen. Just to be clear, I do like chaos, but I don't want there to be negative ramifications for the devs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be great. I have no idea what's going on,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited. It looks cool.
Yeah, we didn't know about it already, of course, because they already announced that they're making it. But
Right.
it's good to actually see it. Although we didn't get a release date or anything like that.
No.
Not even a window. So it just made. I don't know, honestly, because they didn't show that much. Could be 2 years from now. I lean on 2028, honestly, but
Yeah.
maybe next year. But I think 2028 sounds right. Honestly,
It's a really brief look at a game for a game that,
yeah,
would be coming
they
out
would have showed
next
more.
year, so I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Gen Atlas, which is from the director of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, which are PS2 classics. I've talked about that on other podcasts, how great those games are. Um, but the thing was, that frame rate, oof, was rough. But the aesthetic was cool. The world looks cool. I'm very interested in what's going on. There was not a lot to go on, but I'm very interested just to see where it's going next. I mean, I really liked Ico. I really love Shadow of the Colossus. I liked Last Guardian, and it looks like that, right? Unknown world, and the thing is always creative. His games are always creative and like their own unique world, and they never really explain anything. You kind of have to figure it out on your own. And they always have like a made up language, and you kind of just get absorbed in the world. And this one is going more for like big robots fighting each other and things like that.
Always
And
a plus.
yeah, and it's going for the grand scale of like Shadow Colossus, like these big Titan robots, and they show your character being really tiny compared to them. And I'm just very interested in this world, but that frame rate needs some work. Um, hopefully that will be cleaned up. If it's on PC, which I think it is, then maybe it'll be a lot better on PC. But I feel like the console
I think this
version,
is right around when I joined the chat. I didn't really notice the frame rate, but at least when I first watched it, I'm watching it back right now. But yeah, I tried the Shadow of the Colossus when I was younger. Couldn't get
yeah,
into it. I tried the remaster in the 2010s, and I couldn't get into it. Or was it the remake for the PS4, whatever it was?
yeah,
Um, it wasn't a remake. It was like a remaster quality of life thing.
yeah,
I couldn't. I think there was. I think I got through like a few bosses, and then I got stuck on this one, and I just gave up. I was like, this is really annoying. Like you keep falling off, and it's just a trial to just get. I know it's supposed to be a trial, but for me, it was really frustrating. And then Eco and Last Guardian, I never played. So yeah, this doesn't do much for me, but we're still in the part of Summer Games Fest where I'm like, okay, like I'm not super into these games besides the first one, but I respect, the people behind these games. I think these are big properties. We're coming out swinging. The Game Fest is looking great so far. We're gonna have a drop off pretty soon, but we're still in that swing, and so I definitely respect what this is going for. I don't think it'll be for me just because it reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus, and I just don't really care for that kind of stamina based
Yeah.
platforming. It's part of what killed Breath of the Wild for me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it looks beautiful. And if there are any frame rate issues, I trust them to suss that out before it comes out.
Hopefully. Although the one consistent problem with all those games is the gameplay. Have always been clunky, and it might be more of the same
Yep,
here. So we'll see. Hopefully not.
probably, yeah.
Another problem for this game is that it's not coming to Steam. It's coming. It's only on Epic Game Store, and
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize
so
that.
I'll probably be playing it on PS5,
Yep.
which feels right anyway. I played all their games
Yeah,
on PlayStation.
yeah. Feels more appropriate.
Yeah, so the show started off strong, and then the next game they showed was Blood Message, which I thought it looked really cool. It is from NetEase, which
Yeah,
is a Chinese company, um, but God, it looked very AAA. The visuals looked incredible.
yeah,
It had a whole storyline. It had dialogue. It had big action set pieces. It had combat. I don't know how much of it was actual gameplay and how much was a vertical slice because a lot of it was cut so fast and obviously he was like shooting an arrow on a horse, and then he was like stabbing somebody close up, but like it looked like a cutscene or something zoomed in, or like like a action moment in the game, or like when you're fighting something and then they zoom in and show like what's going on in the action scene. And so I need to see some more
yeah,
gameplay. What the actual gameplay is gonna look like. Like, is it gonna be close up? Is it gonna be like Ghost of Tsushima? But from what I'm seeing, like I am a sucker for this kind of stuff. Um, I don't want to say samurai game because this is China, but let's just say like martial arts fighting game. I feel like this is China. I mean, they're speaking Chinese, so
yeah. It's definitely a Chinese game. NetEase is
yeah,
a Chinese company. They're
right,
speaking
right.
Chinese. Yeah,
So I don't want to say it's a samurai game, but it's ancient Chinese fight action game. What's the genre? I don't know. Action adventure. So
action adventure. Yeah,
what I'm seeing, I'm very interested. I'm not saying I'm so day one or I'm like dying to see it. Um, I'm just very very interested. We got no release date, no release window. Is this game like 2 3 years from now? Is it 2 years from now? If I had to predict, this feels like a 2028 game. I don't think this is coming out next year.
yeah. We didn't see any playthrough at all. You know that scene where the guy gets up and all these guys are coming at him reminded me of what that Tom Cruise movie, the Ronin
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
Last Samurai.
yeah, Last Samurai. I think it looks really cool. I don't
Yeah.
know a lot about the historical background. I don't really know a lot about this game. I got this game confused with Acts of Blood, so I
Mm.
was like, oh, I'm surprised that's getting a showcase at Summer Games Fest. But no, Blood Mess is very different. It looks cool. I don't know. Similar to Seb, I don't know if I'm day one, but I'm very interested. I'll be keeping an eye on this one for sure.
Yeah, it's just so cinematic. I don't know what this is gonna play like. It's giving me Rise, Son of Rome vibes. Have you ever played that game?
I knew about it. Yeah.
Do you know how it plays? Like how how cinematic it is. Like it mixes the
It's kind of open
cutscenes.
worldish, right?
No, it's like very linear, and all the action is like very close up to you and very cinematic, and it blends in like scenes, like cutscenes with actual gameplay in real time, and that's the vibe I was getting. This feels very linear and very story driven, like that game was. So we'll see, but that's what I was getting out of it. You
Yeah.
should play Rise. It's actually a fun game and it's pretty short. And it's a fun cinematic game. All right,
What is it called? Rise of Ronin?
Rise, Son of Rome. Yeah,
Rise, Son
it
of
was an
Rome. Oh, Son
Xbox.
of Rome.
Yeah, it was an Xbox One launch game. It's on Steam
Oh,
now.
okay. We were. I was thinking about a totally different game. Okay.
Yeah, if you see how it plays, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, Hex, which is
Hex.
a co-op survival shooter set in a Nordic wilderness, which is overtaken by aliens. It didn't give us a release date, but it is coming to PC. It's 1 to 4 player co-op survival first-person shooter, and you scavenge for resources, shoot aliens, uncover the whereabouts of missing expeditioners, and you have to manage body temperature, thirst, and more while surviving the harsh elements. This is the first game that wasn't for me. Um,
Yeah.
I don't like survival games. I don't like games where you have to drink and eat and things like that. I have to do
Yep.
that in real life. I don't want to play that in a game
I
either.
was just about to say it's annoying as shit enough in real life. I don't really want
Yeah,
to be worrying about that in a video game.
yeah.
You know what's really messed up? I heard there was at least 33 expeditioners who went missing, Seb. So,
Oh man, technically in 2 weeks is when I die. So
oh hell yeah! I mean,
I
that's so
turned
sad.
33. I turned
Sorry, did I say
33.
that?
I turned
Yeah,
33. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, not for me. Anything else that you want to add, Dory?
I was confused about the pronunciation, but someone clarified to me that it is hex.
Yeah.
So yeah, not for me either. Don't care about survival games. Moving on.
I thought the trailer was weird with the alien robot sound, like that kind of. It didn't really. It didn't draw me in. It was kind of like, what? What is
Yeah,
this?
we got to
Um.
talk about this next one. I got things to say about it.
Yeah. Stranger Than Heaven is RGG's been getting a lot of
Bad
controversy,
press.
bad press and
Yeah,
controversy. People are not happy at all with them. So Stranger Than Heaven, you and I were both very hyped for it. I mean, RGG makes quality games, right?
they
And
do.
and this game looked incredible. Like we talked about it last time, and we're very excited for it. We went into detail about the storyline, about an American Japanese man going to Japan and working his way up, becomes a big gangster basically in Japan, businessman gangster. And we talked about how there's Snoop Dogg in it, and that's kind of. And you said it was jarring. That even last time we talked about, you said it was a bit jarring. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Feels forced.
Yeah, it just seems weird and out of place. And Snoop Dogg himself has been involved in some very public controversy for his comments about queer people. So it just seems like weird timing. I don't know, but
This,
I put that aside and I was like, you know what, the game still looks really cool. I
yeah,
whatever, like
it's
Snoop
not that
Dogg,
major. Yeah,
it's not that major, right? And then they announced that they have brought Tupac Shakur into the game. Now, I just want to remind any of our listeners who are younger that Tupac has been dead for a long time, or he's on an island with Elvis. I'm excited for the Elvis
or he's in
DLC
Japan,
that is
as you can
surely
see.
coming out. Apparently, he's in Japan. Tupac has been dead. Let's be serious. Tupac has been dead for a long time. I think it
96.
is very
Yeah,
weird and very strange to bring dead people into a video game, even if you have the consent of the estate. Now, it gets even worse because the people who are in charge of Tupac's estate, I know this is a whole rabbit hole, and most people aren't going to care about this shit, but I didn't even go down this rabbit hole. Somebody else did on Blue Sky, and I just happened to see it. But apparently, Tupac's estate is managed by a label executive, not even his family,
correct.
who signed him to his label. And he was sued by Tupac's half sister, who was alleging that he embezzled millions of dollars from their mothers. It's a whole fucking thing. So not only is it not his family, but even if it was his family, even if it was the best case situation, this has gone from jarring to distracting. Like I don't look, I there is a long, proud tradition of fusing hip hop with anime, and I've got nothing against that. That is fucking awesome. Cowboy Bebop did it. There's another famous anime I can't think of off the top of my head right now that does it really well too. Um, and of course, there's Afro Samurai. There's so many. There's so many fucking good examples. Samurai Champloo. That's what it was. I couldn't remember it. There's so many fucking good examples of hip hop with anime, and I've got absolutely zero negative things against it. This is very weird. This is very strange. It's stranger than heaven. It's very weird. And it's not weird in a good fun way. It's weird in a I don't like this. This makes me feel kind of icky about supporting this game way. I was willing to let the Snoop Dogg thing go. He's a big celebrity and celebrities say stupid shit and RGG is not responsible for what Snoop Dogg says and whatever, right? Ultimately I trusted RGG. But this stuff and now the Tupac stuff and then the stuff with the voice actor from and then taking off the original Yakuza 3 off the store pages so you had to buy the remake which has very negative review or mixed reviews at best, I can't remember.
Mixed.
I
Yeah.
don't know what RGG is doing lately. They're making a lot of really questionable decisions, and it's a shame because I loved RGG Studios, but right now I'm side eyeing them very hard. They don't know what is going through their thought process. This is just not it. I think it's very strange. I'm sorry to keep using that word. It's very weird, and I don't and it distracts me from the game. It takes me out of what on a basic level this takes me out of the story that they want to tell. And it's an important story. It's an important story about mixed heritage and not feeling like you belong and all that good. And that's great. And I love that. That's why I was interested in this game. And it's putting fucking Tupac in there. And Snoop Dogg is like, oh, well, we really think this represents what Tupac would be all about. Bro, he's been dead for 30 fucking years. Like, he has nothing to do with this game. Like, this just feels like a soulless cash grab based on a dead person. And I'm sorry, it just feels weird to me. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it, but I am saying this made me less interested, not more interested. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. I hate saying it because RGG make great games. I love Infinite Wealth. It was my goatee. I love Yakuza Zero, one of the best games I've ever played. Incredible characters. I love Like a Dragon. Think that's a really great game. But this ain't it. From a not long time RGG fan, but a decent amount of time fan of RGG. This is not it for me. For me.
Yeah, I know what they're going for because this game has a very stylized, like old school, like 60s, 50s Japan, where like a and trying to add like a cool hip hop aesthetic to it. Like I get the vibe they're going for, and it's very cool in that regard. But you didn't need to do Tupac for that, and Snoop Dogg really too. You could have did like an unknown rapper or something, like because you could do the identity thing with a black person in Japan, like even back then, right? Like not fitting in or something like that. Like you can do that storyline, but why Tupac of all people? It's just distracting for absolutely no reason. It doesn't add to the game. It just feels like a cash grab. Because people know
Yeah.
who Tupac is. Tupac's one of my favorite rappers. Obviously, I
He's
love him.
he's he's fantastic. I mean, he's got so many classic songs, and
Yeah,
yeah, I will say this: I was very worried that they were going to just Gen AI his voice or some
They,
bullshit, but apparently they're using like archival footage or something like that and stitching together sentences. I
okay.
mean, that's like the best way to do this the best way to handle this ethically weird situation. I'm not even
Right.
going to say wrong,
Yeah.
but I excuse me, but it's still like, how are they going to do that without it sounding weird? Like, I remember when they brought back Admiral Tarkov, right? And they also CGI'd Princess Leia after Carrie Fisher died.
Yeah.
Those two things were very weird. They were very distracting. I love Rogue One. It's a fantastic movie,
Yeah.
but it's just, it takes me out of their world
Yeah.
and reminds me, oh, Carrie Fisher's dead. Oh, Admiral Tarkov's actor is dead. Like, I don't know. I understand they have the estate's permission and they're not using Gen AI. They're just using archived stuff that Tupac has actually said. But I don't. How do you make that even sound natural? Like, even
Absolutely.
if this was okay,
Yeah.
how do you make that work?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's Tarkin because Tarkov is the game. Tarkin is the
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Tarkin.
No, but you're
Sorry.
right. You're right.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
face looked way off in Rogue One. The technology wasn't great back then.
Wasn't there?
Still
No.
not a big fan of that. I'd rather just an actor play him. And even if the family agrees to it, I'd rather just like if you're gonna have the character in it, just have someone else playing it that looks like him. Like don't do technology and AI and things like that. I don't want to see that. Um, like remember the Ghostbusters movie when they brought Harold Ramis back as a ghost,
Mm.
literally as a ghost, and it was like a CGI ghost. Ugh,
I didn't even know about that. I also
it
was
wasn't
thinking
good.
about when they de-aged Mark Hamill or some bullshit for Mandalorian,
Yeah,
but they
that
literally
he's alive and he agreed to it, so that's different. You know what I mean? I
sure,
don't think
but
that's
they
as
but
bad.
they literally have an actor who looks exactly like
Oh
Mark
yeah,
Hamill as a young guy.
yeah,
So it's just
fair.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that one's not as bad, obviously, because Tupac can't
No,
consent
no, that's
because
not
he's
as
dead.
bad. It's just reminded me.
Yeah,
No, it's
yeah, yeah.
not nearly as bad. But yeah.
I just don't get it because I just find it very distracting. I don't know what it adds to the game. It has nothing to do with the game itself. Like the game is not about Tupac. It's about two Japanese men that go from America to Japan and work their way up in Japan. What does that have to do with Tupac? It, I mean, really, what this is, and I think it's a safe bet that this is a character that's barely going to be in the game. It's going to be like a side mission or something, and they're just advertising this just for like because it's Tupac and they want to
It'll get people talking, which it did, but I just don't know that
they want
it's
all eyes on
yeah.
it. So yeah, so
Yeah.
um yeah, that's the only reason they're doing that. Like Snoop Dogg might be in it a little bit. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's barely in it. It all just feels like cheap marketing. I don't think this game needs
Yeah,
it. RGG
it
is
really
really
does.
well respected, and their games do very well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making 5,000 of them, a new one every
Yeah,
year. So they have to be selling. So I don't get it. I think it's icky. I'm not like pissed off about it. Like if because
yeah,
I get the
no,
family probably agrees to it, or like the estate agrees to it, whatever. It's still ethically weird to me. It's just weird
yeah,
to me.
it's very strange.
I can't say it's like horrendous. I just think it's weird.
No,
It's a weird. It's in
it's
that
just
weird.
weird and
It's in the
icky.
middle. It's in the
Yeah,
middle. It's like weird. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't have gone that direction. Like of all the people,
no.
you could have just said any alive black
There are
rapper.
so many rappers today who love anime, who grew up on anime. Just use them, dude. Get
Yeah,
fucking Childish Gambino. Like, what are we doing?
yeah.
So dumb.
This is not, as you said, this is not something bad enough to like not make me buy it,
No, no.
but it makes me less interested in it. Is the
Yes,
best way I can
correct.
say it.
Yeah,
Still very interested in it, and the hip hop aesthetic fits this perfectly. Like we were watching it live with other people, and they were like, "I don't get like this focus on
yeah,
rappers." I'm like, "Well, hip hop's huge in Japan, and there's a bit, and black people and rappers love the Japanese aesthetic, and it just works together so well."
yes.
I
Yeah,
although
I mean,
Yeah, because you know,
I was
Samurai Champloo and Afro Samurai that like
yeah.
anime and rappers like peanut butter and jelly. It just goes together so well.
Absolutely, and it's like think about another one like fucking Liquid Swords, right? Or like a Wu Tang Clan. Like they're
Yeah,
alive. They fucking referenced anime all the goddamn
exactly. You
time.
could have did anyone else, anything else.
Anyone, it's so weird. But all that said, I still am interested in the game. I'm just less interested than I was before. But we should
Y-
probably move on because
y-
we've said enough about this dumb shit.
Yeah, this is like one of the big topics of the show. That's why
Yeah,
we went a little more detailed with
yeah,
it.
for sure, for sure.
But it is coming out January 15th of next year, so we did get a release date, which is new.
Very
So
similar to the Infinite Wealth
yeah,
release date.
and they said winter last time, and I did say it was going to be January or February, and it was January.
Yep.
All right. Next game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, which we knew about. Although
Very cool.
I don't know if we knew it was from Platinum Games though. That was new.
That's got me really psyched. Platinum does a lot of really good quality games. I know they've been a little more iffy in recent years, but I still have some faith in them.
Yeah, they have a mixed track record because they have a lot of licensed games where they just make it fast to pay the bills, and then they have quality
Yeah.
ones like Bayonetta and Nier. But this is their first AAA game from Paramount Game Studio. They're a new conglomerate. They said they're going to get more into gaming. That's a whole new story we can get into, but we don't have to get into all the details. But, you know, because Paramount's buying WB, so they're going to be owning all the WB IPs like DC and Harry Potter and all that stuff. So I'm sure that Paramount's getting themselves ready to have a bunch of video game studios. And, you know, Last Ronin is a famous comic, very dark. Only one Ninja Turtle's alive. I think it's Michelangelo. I want to say. Um, and yeah, Ronin. i- Is it gonna be? Is it gonna be more of an adult game? Is it gonna be more violent? Is it gonna be rated M? A lot of questions need to be answered. But Platinum Games, you know what to expect from them. Great combat, great gameplay. Um, Probably some over the top stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like that's a safe bet. If anything Platinum does the best, it's gameplay. And so I'm
Yep.
very excited for that. I mean, this is one of my biggest hype moments of the show. I love Ninja
It was very
Turtles.
cool.
This is really cool.
Yep.
Anything else you wanted to add?
I love TMNT. The Last Ronin is a blind spot for me. I never read it as a kid or growing up, I should say, whenever it came out. But I love
Mm.
TMNT. A huge fan. I don't recognize those live action, not the '90s one; those are great, but the Michael Bay stuff. But otherwise, yeah, very into TMNT. Super happy about this.
Yeah, it came out in 2020.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I hope it's bloody. I hope it doesn't have to be M for mature. I would be okay with T for teen and just like a decent amount of blood, but it should
Yeah.
definitely be a bit gritty and edgier and
Well,
yeah, yeah.
well, the irony is the original Ninja Turtles in the comics were very dark and edgy.
Right. No, I know. I know.
Then they kidified it,
Yes.
obviously.
Yep.
But this one is a dark. So this one came out in 2020. Um, between 2020
Oh
and
shit,
20.
did The Last Ronin come out in 2020? I thought it was much older than that.
No, yeah, it came out in 2020.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so the main character is Michelangelo. It takes place in a dark alternate future. and he's the only surviving
Oh, you're
turtle,
right.
and he's
Wow.
he's in this dystopian New York City, and all his brothers are all dead. And it says the story follows Michelangelo as the last of the four brothers carrying their weapons and seeking to kill the grandson of the Shredder with the help of new allies like Casey Marie Jones. This series is known for its mature tone, gritty art, and has spawned sequels like Lost Years and Re-Evolution, exploring the legacy of TMT. So expect a dark, gritty, dystopian game. And then also like it's Michelangelo, and he's like he's the goofy skateboarding
Yeah,
cowabunga
this is
dude.
like the big twist I think in
Y-
the comic too,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I've since had spoiled, not by Seb just here,
yeah,
but since had spoiled for me because nobody would think everyone presumed it was Raph, right?
yeah.
Which makes the most sense. But anyway, it's super cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. You have anything to say about the extremely hard game with the two?
I'm going to extremely pass on this game. Thank you.
Yeah, that will end your marriage because they literally said it was It Takes Two with
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
yeah Crossfire.
Let's talk about Crossfire.
Yeah, you have anything to say about that one?
I so apparently this is from former Infinity Ward and Naughty Dog devs, which
Yeah.
is cool. Apparently they're unfortunately they're like those. I'm tempted to say something else. They've made very questionable statements in the past about politics in video games that I think are dumb. But those were also years ago, so maybe they've learned. I don't know. But this is a cover shooter game, which I didn't even really get. I didn't really get that like I got that it was a third person action like military kind of game. It really does feel like a Naughty Dog game mixed with a Call of Duty game. But also I want to talk about the guy on the right whose mustache looks like it's from the fucking 1920s where what's his name? Jacob Minkoff. Even sounds like a fucking corporate capitalist from the 20s. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I love the studio name. That's No Moon. That's a great title. But and I thought I walked away from this trailer seeing that it looked cool, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like iffy on military games at this point. But I don't know. It looks cool, but I don't just there's something off about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Am I wrong here?
Uh, I wouldn't say it wasn't off for me. It was just we have so many military games at this point.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of generic, but the concept of it is cool for me in terms of like it's single player. It's made by Naughty Dog devs, and you can see the Call of Duty influence. If it's like a quality, cool campaign and has some cool cool story, some cool action scenes, and fun gameplay, I'll probably enjoy it. That's what I got out of it. I'm not like hyped for it, but I am just interested. Is what I would say.
Yeah.
I wasn't initially interested in it when I first saw it because I was thinking like, oh, it's another Call of Duty shooter kind of game. But no, it's a single player, third person shooter stealth game is what I'm from what I'm saying, and it had a lot of cutscenes and dialogue and voice acting and all that. So
Yeah, they're really trying to kind of, I guess, revolutionize cover-based shooting. So we'll see how that goes. I'm
yeah,
not I'm
yeah,
not I'm not saying I'm against it or disinterested. Just I was kind of like, okay, I guess.
yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm like, it's on my wish list. I'll keep an eye on it, and that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah,
I, I'm
that's
not
yeah, that's fair.
nothing more than that. But he got no
Hmm.
release date or anything like that though.
You
But
ready to talk about Control Resonant for the millionth time?
feels like next year though. Control Rest in it. So did we? This one, more of the same. We just got to see a little more craziness in this one, like a lot more stylized. This trailer was a lot more stylized. We got to see all the wacky stuff in this one, all the crazy like the red filter. We got to see like the spiral hallway, and I mean the music's great. What's there to say? I mean, nothing's changed since the last hour we just talked about it. So we can move on, right?
Yep,
Guild Wars 3, I don't think you have anything to say, right?
I have nothing to say.
Yeah. Guild
I know some
Wars,
people
cool.
were really hyped. I'm glad for them, but it does nothing for me.
Yeah, it does nothing for me either. Gundam Rogue Orbit. Do you have anything to say about the Gundam game?
The game looks fucking cool. It is on my list, but just as a maybe. I love Gundam. I mean, I grew up watching Gundam, so but I've never gotten into any of the Gundam games, so I can't really say much. But
Yeah,
it looks cool.
in that game, so you kind of know what you're getting into. Um, I didn't get Gundam at first. Um,
I didn't either. I thought I and it was we were kind of joking about this. I kind of thought for a split second it was Lightning Returns from
yeah,
Final Fantasy, and I was like, "This is kind of weird out of nowhere that Square would be doing this." And little did we know. Well, we actually kind of did know, but I was like, "What is going on?" Because it was getting some sci-fi vibes. Her hair kind of reminded me of Lightning, so I was like, "What is happening?" But anyway, yeah, it's just a Gundam game. So, oh well.
I don't know if this is true or not, but people are in the comments are saying Mick Gordon is doing the soundtrack, so that'd be
Oh, that does sound like Mick Gordon. Yeah, that I was kind of hearing the guitar there sounds really good.
yeah. But this looks really fun. I like night games in general anyway. So
Yeah,
even if it wasn't Gundam, I'd still be interested. But now I'm definitely interested. It's on my wish list. I'm not saying I'm dead. I'm definitely dead day one or anything like that, but something to keep an eye on for sure. It looked fun. All right. I grew up with Gundam, on Toonami and stuff. All right. Star Wars Galactic Racer. I probably that's gonna be more of a me game than Dory, of
yeah.
course.
Nah,
Um,
I'm not into it.
of course, I'm a big giant Star Wars fan, but not just that. I love pod racing in Nintendo 64. That's one of the funnest games, Star Wars games ever. And this is like more of the same. Now, it was frustrating at this point because I think this is when the audio and the lag started to really pick up in the showcase. But a lot of people are excited for this because a lot of people have a huge love for the pod racing game, and it has like a story
I
story mode and dialogue and cutscenes, and it looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, I not only am I not into racing, but pod racing just reminds me of like, and I'm sorry, I know there's like a lot of uh prequel love out there these days. I do not abide by it. I don't like Phantom Menace except for the last 20 minutes, and so it just reminds me of one of the, in my opinion, worst Star Wars movies. So I just
I
yeah,
think I think the pod racing is the second best scene in the movie, though.
it probably is. I don't know. It's such a low bar, but yeah, it just reminds me of like a movie I don't like. But
Sure.
I'm also not into racing, so it wouldn't matter anyway. It would not matter anyway. So
Yeah. Although
October 6th,
it is not. Is it on Steam though? Can you confirm that?
Star Wars: The Galactic Racer.
Yeah. Actually, I can just.
I was watching the.
It is on Steam. I confirmed it.
Okay, I was about to say I was checking something out for a
You're
second.
good. Yeah, it's on Steam because Epic's. I think Epic has put money in it, but like it's on Steam, so I don't know. All right. Very excited for that. All right. That's coming out. Oh, by the way, it's coming out October. Coming
6th.
6. Yep. That's a good release date for it actually. Kind of now that feels like more like a summer game if I had to pick, but I guess in my head I always think October is like a Halloween horror month, and it never turns out that way, right, Dory? Because everything comes out in October. So like October is supposed to be a horror month, and it just turns into like let's release every AAA game month. Like
Yep, it really
I'm like I
does.
want to
The
play
last
I want
few
to play a
years.
Halloween game. Nope, Spider-Man 2 is coming out. You're playing that. I want to play a Halloween game. Nope,
Yep, that's right.
Dragon Age Veilguard's coming out on Halloween. That's what you're playing on Halloween.
Yep.
So anyway,
October just turns to a giant crossroads for a lot of gamers. You know what I mean, Seb? Am I right? Am I right? See what
yeah.
I did there? Uh,
So this
yeah,
game looks amazing. Virtual Fighter Crossroads. I was not expecting Shenmue vibes from a Virtual Fighter game. Like it has like a legit storyline. It has dialogue, cutscenes, really cool animation and gameplay, and it's like a mix between a fighting game and a beat 'em up. It's just a very stylized, random game. Like I didn't expect it to be like this, but
yeah,
I mean, this is the story mode, of course, but I'm glad that they're putting effort into story mode because one of the problems with fighting games, I love fighting games, but one of the problems with fighting games is that they always have lack content. It's like they just want you to play the multiplayer and play online with people, and that's it. But you gotta have a little more than that. And I'm really digging this. I was not expecting how cool this is. This. I mean, I was already a Virtual Fighter fan, so like I was already interested, but this jumped up my list to like, oh yeah, I'm very interested. So they did a great
Yeah,
job showing it. It comes out in 2027, so I'll definitely keep an eye on that. I'm
we
glad.
should. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just about to say they didn't list it on Game Informer, but at one point they did. So I just want to mention it here before I forget. But
Sure,
they did mention, and I know I'm cutting into Virtual Fighter,
you're
but they
fine.
mentioned story expansion for the Old Country, which I'm very excited for.
Are they
I
gonna show
just
that here?
noticed that that's not included. So
Yeah, that was a cool. I was done with Virtua Fighter anyway. There's nothing else to say, but yeah, the Mafia DLC is really cool. I was very excited for
yeah,
that. Now we'll see how big it is and all that. Yeah,
yeah,
so definitely something to keep an eye on. We can skip RuneScape. I think. I don't think you have anything to
yeah,
say
we
about
can.
that.
Nope.
All right, 1666 Amsterdam, which I've seen multiple times now. People played the demo. People are digging it. Seems like. Um, so they showed it. Uh, it's been in development for 16 years.
That's nuts, dude. I
Yeah,
had no idea it's been in development for that long. If
yeah.
you had told me it had been in development for 5 years, I would have believed, or 8 years, I would have believed you.
You can check out the prologue on Steam in the Epic Game Store, and
Yep.
the prologue is the 30-minute experience, and it launches into early access later this year.
Oh,
Later this
I
year.
missed that. That's
Well, you can
okay.
wait until next year, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll just wait, I guess. Yeah, this looked cool. I immediately got Assassin's Creed vibe, which makes sense because the guy in charge of it worked on
Yep.
Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, as well as the original. So that makes sense. Not a lot of games, surprisingly, take place within this kind of old school century where you get to play a witch. So I think that's really neat. I'm very interested. This is definitely a game I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah. So that was my vibe. Assassin's Creed is what I was getting with cats. I joked that it was Stray too. Um, it was like Assassin's Creed if it took place in Salem. It was the vibe I was getting. Like Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
if it had witches with black cats. But it looks really cool. Um, I'm not sure if it's coming to console. I think it's just PC right now. Is it? 'Cause all it said, because if you look at the end of the trailer, it says wishlist now and has Steam and Epic Store, and that's it. It didn't even mention
yeah,
consoles. So it's a PC only game for now. But it looks really cool. Something I'll keep
yeah.
an eye on, for sure. I'm not saying I'm definitely day one or anything like that, and I'm not day one for early access because I don't like to play early access.
No, and
But
it's gotta be like Baldur's Gate or Hades or something for me to
yeah,
do early
when you get like
access.
80% of the game or something, or 50, whatever it is,
Yeah, where you get, like, a big chunk of the game or I respect
and
the
it
devs
carries
so
over.
much, like, if Kingdom Hearts 4 came out in early access, I'd play it, but, like, it would have to be momentous, right? It would have to
Yeah,
be huge,
exactly. So definitely cool. One of the cool announcements of the show.
for sure.
All right, the next one was Saw Genesis. No, the coolest thing about this game was that the Billy puppet walked on, no, rode his little bike on stage and talked to Jeff. But this did nothing for me. If
No,
it was
I was really disappointed.
yeah, if it was a single player
I
game, I would have been more into it. But it's a
yeah.
3v1 multiplayer game.
Give me the old school Saw games that are super janky on the 360 that are terrible, and you've got choices and you've got to escape the traps, and I don't know. This just feels like a Dead by Daylight cash grab kind of thing to me. So
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. Does every single horror franchise need an asymmetric horror game? No,
yeah,
they don't. Like,
no,
I'm glad, like the Hellraiser game they showed at the Future Game Show today. Like, I'm glad they're going for the single player first person view. Like, give me a single player cool. And then like Halloween is getting a single player campaign now. What you play as Michael
yeah, that's good.
Myers. That's cool. But
Oh,
like,
nice.
but
That's
everybody
cool.
else is going for like this multiplayer nonsense. Like, there's so many of them that like there's only so much time for people to play, and like no one's they're gonna pick and they're not gonna just like jump to every different horror franchise and stick with it. So I think it's a mistake. I would have preferred single player. But with that said, though, my friends who like horror games and these kind of games are very excited for this, and I don't want to rain on their parade. So if they're happy, then more power to them. Doesn't do anything for me personally. But you can sign up for the closed alpha to that day. So Hopefully, if you're interested, hopefully you're able to get into it, but not for me. All right, Lords of the
Yeah,
Fallen 2.
not for me either.
Nothing really to get into because they only showed a minute of it, and I was already excited about it, and I already knew the visuals were great. So there's nothing
It's
else.
funny because I was watching this trailer and I was like, "Oh, what's this game? This looks so cool." And our friend Lewis was like, "I don't think you're gonna like the answer, Dory."
Yeah, yeah,
So, but it does look awesome. So I don't retract my statement. It looks really cool, but it's not for me.
yeah. But hopefully they fixed hopefully they removed from the or improved from the first game. The first game was like it was annoyingly difficult, where like they just shoved a bunch of enemies on screen and you got overwhelmed, and it was like a cheap. You were dying like in a cheap way. Like hopefully they cleaned that up a bit. Like one of the reasons people didn't like the first game as much is because it was very cheap. Just way too many enemies on screen at the same time. A lot of like environmental hazards, like a lot of frustration with that game. I still haven't beaten it yet, but I'm pretty far into it. I gotta finish it. All right, Blood of Dawnwalker, which we've talked about a million times at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
Witcher devs looks great. I've already said that. I mean, I'm very interested in it. Probably day one. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what mood I'm in at the time. It comes out September
yeah.
3rd. I don't
I
know.
was already kind of iffy on this because the combat kind of looked janky, and then I heard that
Yeah,
they used, and say it with me, everybody, AI in development, and then they're gonna replace it when they actually make the game or some shit.
yeah,
It's a no for me. I was already kind of iffy, anyways, just because I said that the trailers weren't super grabbing me, the combat looked super iffy, and I mean, I've tried getting into Witcher 3 twice, and both times it did not stick. Although I think there are incredible parts about it, the graphics, the writing, the voice acting. The gameplay is tricky for me to get into. And I'm also very picky about open world games, so that's
yeah,
not even particularly on them. But yeah, I mean, I still think it looks cool. I hope it does well. I guess. But yeah, it's not for me at this point.
yeah. Apparently, this is the first game of the franchise that they want to do because they're gonna have the main character go through different eras. So eventually, they're gonna have him in like modern time.
Yeah.
So that's a cool concept, but
I
we'll
think
see
it's
how it
funny.
goes.
I'm more interested in the next game than I am in this game, which is weird.
Weird for you for sure.
Yeah, weird for me. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this looks great. I mean, it's the Witcher. It's from the Witcher devs. It looks up my alley. Witcher 3 has janky gameplay, and that game's a masterpiece and one of the greatest games ever made. And it's getting DLC again, which is crazy. After like 11 years. But yeah, we'll definitely interested. Star Wars Zero Company, which is Star Wars XCOM. It's a single player tactics game. Comes out August 27th on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And we got to see more gameplay and character creation and customization and like that. And then they get and they showed the Clone Wars and the clones, and then they showed Anakin Skywalker's in the game. His face is a little off, but not a big deal. Didn't really look like Anakin, but still cool to see.
Yeah, it looked a little weird. The reason I say I'm more into this is I don't do a lot of strategy based turn based games, but I think this looks really cool. It looks super good in terms of just the overall quality of the game. So I'm tempted to check this out. If it's not, look, if this game is like white knuckle, really tough, like XCOM gameplay, I'm probably not going to play it. But if it's a little more accessible, I'm not asking for like baby mode, but I'm just saying a little more accessible than XCOM, I'm interested because I'm not inherently against strategy based, turn based gameplay. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with this.
All right, we can start flying through it a little more because a lot of this stuff didn't interest us. The
Yep.
Among Us on Guard and the animated
No.
series, that was the worst part of the show. Nobody laughed
God,
in
that
the
was
audience.
terrible.
It was cringy.
I love Yvette, but this was a disaster. She just all the whole thing just was
It
terrible.
just feels way too late. Among Us is not popular anymore like it used to be.
No, I don't know what they were thinking. Like this is so late.
Yeah. It was like when they made that Angry Birds movie like years later after it was successful.
I don't understand what IPs are doing. Like the fucking they're doing the same thing with Cuphead. Like what are we doing, guys? Like strike while the iron's hot. I understand. I don't want them to crunch or anything. I'm not
Yeah.
saying put it out the same year, but I mean at least within a few years or a couple years or something, do something.
Right. Monster Hunters Wilds is getting a new expansion, the Ascendance. Looks cool. I love Monster Hunter Wilds. I put like 70 hours into it, but am I in the mood to go back to it? Probably not, to be honest with you. But it is launching sometime next year on everything. You could soar into a new land above, so you get to fly basically in the air. And you're in the upper areas, and you wield new abilities, and you get to hunt more legendary monsters. And there's a master rank, and then there's elder dragons going to be in the game. Um, Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. So this comes out September 24th. You know, it looked like it was more of an open world kind of game. Where you drive around, kind of like Forza, but like obviously more cartoony and more Hot Wheels like. It really, uh, I wouldn't say it did nothing for me, but I'm not really that interested in it. It's on my wish list just to keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll like it. But like I say, I'm not a big racing fan, and only like I said, I only play a few a year, not even. So that's more of the reason why I'm not super hyped for it. And it also comes out in September, when there's too many games coming out in September. I have to prioritize the other ones over this one. So that's really what it is. If this game was coming out in a different month, I'd be more interested. But September 24th, which is the same day as Silent Hill Control, and then right around Onimusha, I have to pass on that day one. So yeah,
Yeah.
not really for me.
I have no interest, but I want to say I thought the Hot Wheels series looked really cool, and they've kind of killed my interest in that by turning it open world. They burn out Paradise themselves, so yeah,
Yeah, you should play the first two though, because
they
they're
do
not
seem cool.
they are fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, then they should Attack on Titan 3, which is basically going through the whole series. Um, it spoiled the heck out of the series. But yeah, I mean, I never played the first two, so it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm a big Attack on Titan fan. I've read the manga and I finished the whole anime. But do I want to revisit it? Not really. So not really for me. What about you, Dory? Dory,
what? Sorry.
Attack on Titan. Any interest?
No, sorry, I was watching a different trailer, and like no matter how many times I turn the YouTube thumbnail volume down, it just keeps resetting to max volume, so I couldn't hear you. Anyway, sorry, no interest here.
Yeah. So the middle of the show is where it really lost me. I was getting really
Yeah.
bored. But the last four announcements were really hype, and this is where the conversation is going to pick up more. The Wolf Among Us 2 is
Oh,
finally coming out the end of this year. It's been a long, long wait. Wolf Among Us was
sometime.
one of the best Telltale games, like top three.
Love Wolf Among Us. I know it's super shocking that I love a noir drenched detective story with
Yes,
multiple choices, but I do love it quite a bit.
yeah, this looks just as good. I'm very excited for it. And we're getting a remaster this holiday. Any
I
interest in the
honestly will
remaster?
probably use that as an excuse to replay it because it's been a while since I played
Yeah,
it.
it's been a while. Yeah. Um,
Been a while.
exactly. My point exactly. Like my feelings exactly. I'm very excited for this. I mean, what else is
Yeah,
there to say? Like
day one,
I was so
day
hyped.
one.
I already. I mean, we knew it was coming and everything, but
Yeah, I know. Telltale has gone through a lot of changes, so I mean, I am day one, but I'm day one after reviews. Like, I got to make sure that they still
yeah,
got the juice. But
yeah, for
because this
sure.
is their first, isn't this their first game since the restructuring, or am I making stuff up? I feel like they haven't done anything
It's
since the whole coming back from the dead kind of thing.
it,
Because
dep-
like they dissolved and then they came back, and
it depends how technical you want to get with it, because
yeah,
like they did the final season of Walking Dead with like a very skeleton staff, and they got support from Skybound.
that's right. Was that any good?
Yeah, it
Does
was
anyone
good.
like it?
It
Okay,
was good. Like it wasn't as good as season one, but
sure, but nothing ever
it was
was going to
solid.
be.
I thought it was solid. I think it was like a
Sure.
7 out of 10
Okay.
or whatever. I think it
Cool,
was a
cool.
nice conclusion. Clementine story. Um,
Sure.
and that was in 2018,
God, and that was a lifetime ago. Okay. Well,
2019, 2019.
I'm day one after reviews. I'm
Yeah.
very excited,
So
and I hope they still
yeah.
got the juice.
So this game comes out next year. So that's 8 years since the last game,
God damn.
and then they're working on a Stranger Things game. So whatever that means. So we'll see.
Whatever that means. I'm super over Stranger Things, so I
I
don't
think
care about that
most people
personally.
are. A lot of people didn't like season 5. Um,
Yeah.
Street Fighter Six. Obviously, the big news was Tifa is in Street Fighter Six. That was hype for me. I really like Street Fighter Six,
That's cool.
and I love Tifa.
Does she have alternate costumes? I'm asking for a friend, not for me, but for a friend.
They're celebrating in Italy right now. They're popping bottles,
That they are.
popping
Governors are
champagne.
going crazy.
Yeah, literally. Um, so that was cool. Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. So we knew there was a we figured there's gonna be a sequel for Stellar Blade, of course. It was very open ended. Um, was this the direction I expected? No, because it seems more like
No,
a spin off than a sequel, even though it's considered a sequel. Am I wrong on that? Like it feels like a spin off.
I that's what Game Informer is saying.
Yeah, but no release date, no window given. The new protagonist is Evie, not Eve, Evie, and she fights not with a sword but with her fist. She actually uses her fist. But obviously, it's what you expect from Stellar Blade. Um, cool world, very cool, like dystopian world. Like we kind of knew it was Stellar Blade pretty quick, right? Just away from the aesthetic. So the aesthetic's pretty cool because and it has its own look to it, where you can tell it's Stellar Blade just by looking at it. And then the visuals looked incredible. I mean, the ray tracing in
Apparently,
the
they've gone
trailers, man.
independent too, because there's no Sony involved in the trailer.
Really
According to Shift Up official channel comments from YouTubers, the top comment is this, and without Sony, you've already got my money. And then somebody says, "Congrats on going independent, Shift Up. You deserve it."
interesting.
Yeah, I was not aware of that, but good for them. We were totally on the anti-Sony train during the SGF showcase, so
And I have
not
no,
really,
and I have no,
but kind of.
and I have like no reason to be against Sony.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else was though.
But
I was like,
no,
what?
just to back up what Seb's saying, this looks incredible. I love Stellar Blade. I think it's a great game. I have some problems with the last couple of hours. I think there's some
Me
unnecessary
too.
difficulty spikes.
Me too.
The last boss, and also a cliffhanger that felt really unnecessary. But that said, there's a lot of really good combat involved. I had a lot of fun. It felt like a really good meshing of hack and slash and Souls ish
Yeah.
vibes, but still mostly really accessible, except for again that final boss, which fuck that final boss. This
Mm.
looks really cool. I didn't really expect this direction either, but I'll trust the vision.
Yeah, I played Stellar Blade after everybody else on PC when it came out on PC, and it was fantastic on PC. It was like the perfect PC port. Like it ran flawlessly. I played on ultra settings that like maxed out everything, and it just ran flawlessly. Like that game was gorgeous. Like that game was so good. So, uh, is this game coming to PC day one? I feel like it is,
I
right?
am not
Because
aware.
it didn't say. I'd imagine so because it is on PC. Because it says well, I mean, it says captured entirely on PC, so it's a safe bet. If they're independent, they're not held to Sony, so they could do whatever. So I feel like it's PC. So, um, anything else you want to talk about Stellar Blade?
No, I'm excited for the sequel. I will be there probably day one.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the final game of the showcase, which is
Let's get to the game that matters, Seb.
Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which is officially the subtitle of this game. People have been speculating that for years. What was going to be, um, and I feel like that's a good title for this game. Like that works, and it's
Absolutely,
coming.
Seb. As someone who
Yeah,
played and beat and 100% of the original and definitely knows all of the plot line through and through, I can't agree with you more that Revelation is the perfect title for this game that I definitely know the ins and outs of.
so
That is to say, I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen in this game.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. So they showed no so they did spoil some stuff in the trailer, but
I have no idea what they spoiled, dude. I just saw a lot of cool shit and really
yeah,
awesome combat, and I was like, hell yeah. So
yeah,
I have no idea what the fuck they spoiled, to be honest
yeah.
with
I guess
you.
it doesn't matter when you don't have context,
Yeah, I have
but
no context for any of this. I just know something about Omega machines or some shit. I don't know, nano machines, son. I have no idea what's going on.
I I do have problems with how they like showed it, like three different trailers.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So what did you think about what
I
you
kept
saw?
thinking I kept thinking that we were gonna get like a firm release date or something, but they gave us a release window, which is spring, which could be as early as late March or as late as June. I'm thinking somewhere in between, maybe April, but we'll see. Um,
Yeah, that
I would love,
that sounds right to me.
yeah. I can't believe how well they've done with releasing these games. It's like Square has put their just absolute man. They've put their foot down in terms of this series. They've put a lot of money and time and energy and focus. And where the fuck is that for Kingdom Hearts? Anyway, sorry. So but seriously, they have done a really great job with this series. So I've been very happy. Of course, they kind of have to, because Final Fantasy VII is like the most popular one. I'm so excited. I mean, we knew this was happening, but I'm just so excited on every conceivable level. I have no idea what the fuck's happening or what's going on. It looks like you can wear different costumes to like augment your combat abilities to make the game easier for you if you want to, although it looks like you have to wear those costumes if you want that. um but yeah, I mean, it just looks stunning. What the fuck can we even say? I mean, I feel like I have so much to say, but at the same time it's like, what can I say? Like, the combat just looks incredible, the graphics look amazing. It just looks stunning. I'm just on so many levels. I am pumped. I am there day zero. I hate that I'm giving Square any money, given that they are not only floundering with Kingdom Hearts, but also they're investing a lot in AI. But as I said at the start of the show, I am not a perfect person, and I will be yielding for Final Fantasy. So the same thing is true for Kingdom Hearts. So
Yeah, so it's cool. It's coming to every platform, including the Switch too. And the
yes,
Switch,
I should have mentioned that too. Simultaneously, they're
yeah.
finally free of Sony as well.
So I'll be playing on PC.
Yes, absolutely.
So they said the theme is Revelations theme is resolve, so it makes sense. They showed a skydiving mechanic. People compare that to Fortnite.
Where
Some
we
of it,
dropping?
some of it was funny because like Vincent is just like diving like complete like a pencil like straight, and then like Red 13 is like a dog and he's just like spread out completely. And that was funny. Um, you mentioned the armor already. We got to see Vincent's gameplay because you got Matthew
Yes.
Mercer on stage.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yep, and Vincent's like one of my favorite characters in this game. I love Vincent. He should get its own. He should get his own game after this. Um, remake the Dirge of Cerberus,
The Dirty
the
Dirge.
Dirty Dirge. They said the gameplay is the best in the three games. Like they said that they claim that they mastered this gameplay now. They didn't know exactly what they want, and it looks
Yeah.
like it too.
I mean, I would fucking hope so after 3 games, but yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And then we got to see like the Wutai, like Yuffie's hometown. That's
Right.
probably how the game's gonna start, because that's basically where Rebirth ended. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, right before Wutai.
Yeah, and I won't say anything else about the story because that'd be spoilers. Because I know the context, but you don't. So if I
Yeah, I
tell
have no
you,
idea what the
if I
fuck's
tell you,
happening.
then it'd be a spoiler. But it's more of the same too. At the other hand, like it's not that different. It's not gonna revolutionize the whole. Like you know what you're getting into at this point. It's the
Yeah, I mean, it's not
conclusion.
called Final Fantasy VII Revolution.
Yeah, it's the conclusion to the first two games. So it's like more of the same, but it just just better.
Yep.
This feels like it's gonna be the return of the king of this trilogy. When I say that, I mean like the best of the three. Like it closes on such a high note. Like this could
Yeah.
be the by far the best game in the franchise
I thought the original
or something like
remake
that.
was really great, and then the last game, I think I thought it was either excellent or incredible. I can't remember. And yeah, I'm ready to be blown away again. I think they've really done a great job. The combat looks even more seamless.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, there's nothing else I can say. Cinema, etc.
yeah. Both of them are my top 10 games of the year. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know for sure. I'm just trying to remember which like where I ranked them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think I don't have to go look and find it, but yeah, I'm very excited for this. Rebirth was like in my top five the year it came out in 2024. 20 was it 23? 24,
I think it
24.
was 23, but I'm not sure.
No, it was 24. It was the same year as Astrobot. Yeah, 24.
Oh,
Um,
24. Okay.
yeah. That was my top 5, and then the other one was my top 10. So it got better. The second game was better than the first game, so I think this one's gonna be better than the second one. I think it's a safe bet. But I'm very excited for
Yeah.
this. I mean, there's not really else to say while getting into storylines and all that, so we don't have to get into all that today, of course. And I wouldn't get into that until after the game. So very excited. Was expected to see this. Like the rumors were just like smoking hot. Like they were just Nate the Hate said it was coming. Like it was just too much to ignore. So I was not shocked that it ended with this. So it wasn't a surprise to me. I wasn't caught off guard. I fully expected it, just like I expected the Code Veronica remake. With that said, what I saw looked incredible, and I'm day one. And I've been replaying Rebirth recently. So yeah, I'm so excited to play it on Steam, play it on high graphics. Because one problem I had with Rebirth, and one of the reasons I had it lower in my list, is that the performance mode on PlayStation 5 was terrible. Like when I played on performance mode, the game was completely blurry and it was frustrating. I had to change it to fidelity mode, which I don't like because I don't like playing in 30 frames, but it made the game look 10 times better. So PC is the best of both worlds. All right. Anything else before we move on? Before we end the show, Dory?
I don't think so. Just to say that I think in general, it was a good show. I know you're more, harsh on it than I was, but I think it was a good show overall. Not a great show, but I liked a good amount of the things that I saw. Code Veronica, Black Flag remake, which we didn't talk about but was shown, but we already talked about it before. Control Resident, Mafia, 1666, Wolf Among Us 2, Stellar Blade, Fantasy 7. Those are really heavy hitters, but and a huge but here. We had a lot of kind of nothing games in between those. So just kind of a decent showcase for me. But as always with Jeff, too long, too many ads, too many
Yeah.
games that just shouldn't be there or don't need to be.
I I'm very mixed on the showcase. As the show itself, I was not a big fan of because I thought there was too many ads, too much filler, bad pacing at times. I was really bored in the middle. Even when there's some games I'm interested in, I was just bored. Now, if I look at the list of games that I like and that I'm interested in, then this game was like a 8 out of 10. Like just in terms like the games itself, like not the show, but just the. If I just completely didn't watch the show and look at the list of games, I'll be like, oh, that's a great show. So that's why I'm mixed on it. So I feel like I'm a 7 out of 10. Like now that I can look back on it and rewatch things and that kind of thing, I feel like 7 out of 10 is fine. So I think it was a good show. Even though I was bored in the middle of it overall. So I was happy and state of play was good. This show was pretty good. I expect the Xbox show to be fantastic, or hopefully anyway. So there's been worse Summer Game Fest, honestly. I've been happy. There's a lot of games. I have like 400 games in my wish list at this point. Like I mean, what is there really to say? I don't.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I don't really judge. I know we grade our the showcases and stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't really take them that seriously. Like for me, it's just a
No.
catalog of games that I want to buy, and that's it. More like I don't like. I don't be like, oh, this showcase sucks, so I don't. I'm not interested in any of these games. I'm done.
Right.
I don't like. It doesn't matter really. If it showcase is an F, but there's like 3 games I really liked, that's all that matters. Because I'm not gonna remember the showcase 5 years from now. So that's really what it is. I'll remember the game 5 years from now, but not the showcase. So that's where I'm at. It really doesn't matter at the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll do a podcast episode for future game show and the Xbox show uh, tomorrow, and then the week after that, we'll talk about all of the indies from all the showcases because there's so many showcases, and we'll
Yeah.
streamline that a little more because we'll be talking 5 hours. So,
Yeah.
but we'll plan that this coming week. All right, everybody. You all have a good night. Thanks for watching this long episode. Obviously, it's exciting time of the year, Christmas in June. Enjoy. Have fun, everybody. Play your games.
Bye, everybody. We're going to have Tupac sing us out. So, Tupac, whenever you're ready, buddy.
Support the devs, everybody. Bye.
Bye.